my list of southern phrases up.
All right. 3 days ago, the children of the village of Ilmater's Hope went missing. Or was it 4 days? Or 5? The time passed seemed so short, yet somehow so long. A team was set out in search of the missing children, led by Savarite Cavernsfall. Instead, something else found them. Hounded incessantly by the sadistic machinations of the deranged creature known only as the Silent One, the search party slowly dwindled until they found themselves in dire straits in the gate village of Etia Caerde. After enduring a particularly grueling night, where the Cambian cleric Celagon Sulan was dragged from camp in her sleep and brutally butchered. A second group of would-be heroes approached from the heavy fog and the dim light of the morning. After brief introductions and a rushed funeral, the group set out towards the great gate where they decided to rest prior to their entry. All would not be well, however. Once the party entered through the great gate, Leonala, seemingly unprovoked, thrusted the magical sword Shaliosi Thizrael deep into Sister Cavernsfall's chest. In the panic to keep her from bleeding out as the gateway began to seemingly drink of the sister's lifeblood, she was dragged further into the dark tunnel where a deadly trap was triggered, severely injuring several people and killing Sister Cavernsfall. Dealing with the emotional trauma each in their own way, the group continued deep into the tunnel until they came to an opening, a room even. Inside appeared to be a living space with huge murals painted and carved into the walls, each with engravings in various languages, depicting a great battle of the gods with the Nameless God. Can our heroes endure the trials to come? Will the team's resolve hold up? Will odds roll in their favor? Fear the strangers in your midst. Never play games of fate. And that's where we will pick up tonight. I believe the last thing you did was crawl through a hole and find 2 shields.
Was it Quinn who crawled through?
Yes, and the halfling barbarian name I forget.
Yeah, the 2 of us crawled through the hole and found those shields. Anybody was interested in taking a look at those?
I think Quinn was going to take them.
Yes, she did take them.
Okay, she did.
And they have been removed from the hole. Since Quinn is here, I will let you guys dictate whether she gives those shields to people.
I think she was offering them when we were ending.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought we had decided, weren't there some people that wanted them last time? Or did we not decide that yet?
I don't think we'd gotten there yet.
We were talking about who could have them first, like who were the
Who's proficient?
Who is proficient.
Oh, okay.
So I'm proficient. But I already have a shield. So if someone else wants them.
I'm proficient. If anybody else had a use for it, y'all can take it, but I'm capable of handling them.
Well, Suyi does not want one.
I mean,
I'll carry one, but I can't really. I am not proficient.
It's of little use to me.
Remind me, were these non-magical or magical?
The shields are magical.
I don't think we know that yet.
but they don't have like angelic energy, or else I would have seen, or celestial energy. Otherwise, I would have seen it with my divine sense.
No, your divine sense only detects creatures, not
right. You're
energy
right,
itself. Yeah.
Lee's proficient, but she's also suspicious with her recent experience not jumping to receive any new weapons.
Right. Can I examine one?
Sure.
Do they look different from each other, or do they look identical?
They are identical.
Okay. I'll just take
Yeah.
one to look at.
Sure. Make I think either history or arcana. I'll let you decide.
I will pass the sword to you and say if you would like this to aid you in discovering secrets about these shields.
Does the sword help somehow?
Well, it depends. Are you going to ask it to?
Let me see what I can figure out on my own.
Okay.
I'm gonna roll religion. All right. I need the sword's help. I only got a 9.
Okay.
Please take it.
So you look at the shields, and they're definitely ornate. I think I dropped descriptions of the shields in Discord last week or 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Let me double check.
You dropped something.
The twin shield, yeah, it's in the Game Lore channel.
Yeah, twin shields of Loriac. So they're made of mithril, so they're basically the same material as the sword. They have the intricate inlays. Yeah. And on the back of each shield is the word Ive. And since none of you understand Elvish, you probably won't know what that means.
I'll ask the sword what that means.
Okay, the sword will translate it that that this word is a magical trigger for the spell light.
Oh, you can cast a spell with this shield?
Yes, you merely repeat the word and the spell will be cast on the shield.
Can I cast it multiple times a day?
Yes.
Wow. Okay. Does it run out of times I can cast it?
Nope. This is
That's
a
fancy.
this is a kind of spell known as a cantrip.
Gotcha. Light.
Oh, nice.
Do you know anything about this shield? I imagine it has something to do with the twin gods that were worshipped, that were like here.
These two shields were the twin shields of Loriac. Shields granted by the Elven King to the twin warriors to defend the gates.
Do they
Twin shields of Mithril, the enemies of darkness, the eternal protectors, they guard Elfkind from the depths. Or so you said earlier.
Yeah,
Wow.
it pretty much corresponds to the stories that you've seen in the murals that you've deciphered thus far. The twin shields of Mithril.
If it gives light, should we give it to people that can't really see so good in the dark?
She has her own set of torches, so she's quietly avoiding this conversation.
I mean,
Like,
at the end of the day, they're both shields, and whether you use them to cast light or not, they'll still need to be used by someone who can handle one of those. Now, if anybody else wants them that can handle them, y'all can take them. Otherwise, I can hold on to them if y'all would like.
think Nancy, what's your character's name again?
She goes by Lee. Her full name is Leonora.
I
Should
feel
know.
like Nona would like see. I feel like I could connect the dots between like how Lee doesn't want a magical item. Lee, would you benefit from having a shield? You could have mine, and I could use this one.
I think I would. That seems something that would work for me. If you're open to such an idea.
And she'll give you her shield, and it has like Ilmater's like symbol on it, but it's deeply marred with a whole bunch of awful scratches and like
Seen
cuts.
some shit
It's seen some shit.
Quick
like in the
question.
past couple days.
Quick question. Is that shield your holy symbol?
No. My holy symbol is a separate item in my inventory.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's something that you hold in your hand when you're casting spells.
It says I can also wear it visibly.
Right, like on a shield. That's why I was asking if that was your holy symbol.
I assumed it was. Oh, can I say that there was another holy symbol like on my shirt or something?
I can knit one into a pair of socks real quick.
Sure. Sure, we'll go with that. You have like an embroidered holy symbol on your clothing or something.
Bless you. Thank you. Ilmater's holy symbol embroidered into my clothing by a witch. That is not something I ever expected to see, but something that I deeply have gratitude for. So she'll give.
I'm so proud of your flexibility right now.
Thank
Lee's
you.
face looks a little bit distressed, but she's clearly grateful and kind of under her breath says thank you as well.
Yeah, no pressure. Just take care of somebody's holy symbol, NBD.
I think Ilmater would choose well to protect you, Lee. So I'm gonna equip one of these shields, huh?
Okay. Yeah, it'll take a short rest to actually attune to the shield.
Okay.
Which is where you would get the additional +1 armor class bonus.
City's still standing off to the side near the hole in the wall, looking disinterested.
Okay, so what are you gonna do with the other shield? Out of curiosity.
I imagine I would give it to Edie because she was saying she would take it.
Okay.
I want to say that we should give it to someone like Mavly because it says on the description it says that the silent one won't attack someone who is wearing it, but we don't know that.
Yeah, you don't know that.
So I'm
Does
not
the
trying
sword know
He is
that?
a
Would the
little
sword
low.
tell you that though?
The sword does not know that.
Okay.
It's
Sorry, I'm
almost
trying to
omniscient.
look for it. I'm trying to look for it in the inventory, and it won't come up.
I don't. Is this
Sorry.
an item that is in D&D Beyond?
It is not yet because I forgot to add it. So
Dang it, Z.
Bruh.
Okay.
AC 19. Let's go.
I'll be right back. I think somebody's at the door.
Sure. Do we want
Is
to
it
take
the silent one?
Is it this? He's
Be
knocking
careful,
on your
Z.
door. Do you hear him?
Do you
First
see
rule of
him?
horror movies: never say "I'll be right back."
The one guy just left. We're doomed.
The one guy. Well, it's always like the half-naked hot chick that survives at the end, right?
Crap.
You've all got weapons, right?
That's on,
It
on
was
which
it was
movie, I guess.
8-year-old solicitors.
Ooh.
Were they
Was
we
it by Girl
soliciting
Scout
Girl Scout cookies? Yeah.
No, they were like, "Is there anything we can do to earn some money?" I was like, "Not right now." I should have been like, "Yeah, go away."
Here's
Don't be
$5. Please
mean.
leave.
Do you want to
Oh.
pose as kidnapped children for my role play?
How much level your state?
I have dog crap that needs picked up. I will give you a not beating.
Actually, we have done that in the past.
Hey, there's nothing wrong with hiring people to take care of crap,
Yep.
Mhm.
especially tiny children. That is an honest way to earn a living.
All right, where were we?
Do
were
we want to
deciding
take
shields?
do we want to take a short rest to
Tootie does not.
to attune?
That could be good.
I'm not sure if we know what we're doing next, so we could figure that out while we take a rest.
How are we going to decide what to do?
Was there a way further in through that hole?
So there was a warped and twisted door that seemed to be almost bursting through its frame, but the handle refused to turn, and there didn't appear to be a keyhole.
Right.
There was, however, the
And we couldn't break it down.
Yeah, you tried to stab it with a dagger.
yeah, there were some figures in the north wall, which contains the door, where there was the mural depicting small humanoids being led by larger warped figures with distorted proportions. The figures carried knives, which they used to create a cascade of blood that drips down into the massive black void beneath them.
Yes.
You did notice that one of the figures is taking a knife to his own hand, and the blood flows from his hand into a door and down into the void below.
So there's just a place full of blood doors.
Okay, last time I poked my hand, and I'm blanking on which door I did that in front of. Was it this door? Or was it
I believe it was this door, yeah.
Okay, and then it didn't pull anything towards it.
It did, actually.
It
Well,
did? Okay.
no, sorry. You just cut your hand while standing near the door, and it didn't do anything. Right.
Yeah, and that was this door.
It was this door, yes.
Imagine we're gonna have to like put it on the door.
I feel like I just made you give a spoiler back.
Should we try to open it now, or if we're gonna take a rest, maybe we should wait?
I think we might need to have a moment. So, okay, let's put some stuff together because a lot of things just happened again.
Yep.
And also, I'm not sure when the last time most of the group has slept other than the OGs. So, DM, how close are they to an exhaustion point?
I'd say they've got a few more hours in them before I'm even going to make them roll.
Okay, so
Could we extend that by taking a short rest?
Nice try, but no.
okay, so like I said, a lot of things have happened. We found shields. When we walked in for the first time, honestly, you guys, with the lore that we had and the things that we knew, we should have kind of been suspicious when there were 3 mannequin things instead of 2.
That is true.
I think we need to refocus on what we're doing. And yeah, we need to hurry and try to find the kids, but if we die in the process, that's
Not gonna help the kids.
that might even have some additional complications for the world that I wasn't ready for. I signed up for retrieval, not for world saving purposes. But here we are. So we have limited supplies. We have, from what I am understanding from kind of conversations that I've listened to a little bit, a potential path that may or may not change fairly frequently.
Mm-hmm.
And if we deviate from said path, what happens?
That is the question.
Probably not good.
I have a few questions. Well, I guess just one question regarding the silent one for those of you that have interacted with this entity beforehand. So far, I have seen it disguised as a dead body and as a mannequin. Can it take the form of a living person?
Yes and no. It can reanimate corpses.
It
By
also has looked
possessing
like
them.
Quinn.
And oh, you're right. It has looked like
Oh, and was it a good replica?
Extraordinarily.
Okay, that's
Until
terrifying.
it took damage.
total damage.
Okay.
What did it look
I-
like when it took damage?
There was like a slash, and under the skin it looked different. But at first I totally thought it was Quinn going for Sister Cavern's Fall. Did I mention that we thought Quinn stabbed Sister Cavern's Fall at one point? Sorry, Quinn, nothing personal. It wasn't Quinn. Quinn was actually unconscious underneath a corpse at the time, who we
Buried.
had to dig out later
Mhm.
after the zombies attacked. It's been a doozy of a day.
I'm sorry, you said zombies and shape-shifting creature and
Yeah, I didn't think any
still
of this
wrapping
was
my head
possible.
around all of this.
Edie, I want to
What
go
have
home
y'all
so bad.
faced?
The
What?
Northlands are dangerous and strange.
Maybe we should hang out with Sudi for a while. She hasn't made any mention whatsoever of shape-shifting people. But in all seriousness, at this point, when we say nothing is quite off the table, I'm not sure what is surprising and what isn't anymore. But I do know that we have all recently been thrown together. And while we all seem to have kind of a common goal for the most part, except I'm not really sure why Wid's hanging out. Hi, Wid, thank you for all of your awesome. But the rest of us kind of have missing family members.
Everything is interconnected, and I don't want to see this darkness in the land any more than any of you do.
I'll take it, maid lady. I just feel like we're going at this really kind of willy-nilly slapdash.
Do you
And
have an idea on
We're
how
going
to
at
prepare?
what?
yeah, words are hard. I know. We're being a little odd, more odd than you would probably normally think we'd be. But I also have 2 new dots on my leg. So we're open to conversation and new understandings and cultural interchange. Except, with bad guys. So there's
Sudi
that.
turns to Edie. Did you see a way through the hole that we don't have to go through this door?
I saw the door and that was about it. I don't know if there was some weird blood magic that we would have to touch the door or something, but
So there's no
Either
door
way.
through the hole with the shields.
the only way out is through that door. And honestly, Madly here is right that we should all take a moment and discuss what our next steps are before we decide to charge willy-nilly through that door.
So we can ask the sword if it knows how to get through the door.
Is the sword
Same.
still covered in Sister Cavenfall's blood? We haven't cleaned it.
Yep.
Does it have to be living blood if it is a blood ward? Can we be a little on the gosh, Sister Caverns Fall wouldn't mind being self-sacrificing?
That
Look,
doesn't make
I'm
you feel
just saying.
louder.
I don't know how respectful that would be, but I suppose she would want to see this evil destroyed by whatever means necessary.
It isn't
So-
her blood anymore.
Oh, that might mean it won't work.
Whose blood is it? If it's
Who
not
has it?
hers. It's still her blood.
That does
think-
raise an interesting question. How much do we want to trust this apparently sentient sword that can make people kill people?
I don't think we should trust it. But I also don't think we can afford not to use it for information.
Judy grabs the sword and asks it how to get through the door.
Okay. As you grab the sword, this is Sudi's first time talking to the sword,
No,
right?
she was the first one to grab it.
Right, okay. So the sword, you would, as you grab it, you immediately start hearing, that whispering in your mind. And you ask, how do you get through the door?
Mm-hmm. How do we get through the door?
The sword would pause or not respond for a moment and say, I am unsure as the path to follow.
Judy holds it up next to the door. This one.
Like the magic
It
8-ball.
pauses. It pauses
Ask
for a
again later.
moment. And it continues by describing the mural painted on that wall and saying, based on these drawings, it appears that the cost is blood.
Then Judy sticks the sword into the
Onto-
door if she can, because it has blood on it.
Yeah, you press the sword against the door.
Well, she stabs the door with the sword, but yeah.
Okay, so are you trying to impale the door? Like, how hard are you stabbing it?
Not hard, like poking a needle into something to get it.
Yeah, okay. As you push the sword or poke the sword into the door seems to come to life as the blood now drying on the blade gets closer to the door, and it sounds like it's gently groaning and creaking in delight, but the dried blood on the blade doesn't seem to have an effect.
Can Judy tell it's because it's dry?
No.
Okay. She tries smearing it.
Again, the door seems to groan and kind of creak a little bit as if it's enjoying what you're doing, but it doesn't seem to affect the door in terms of opening it.
And then Judy touches the sword with the blood.
Touches the sword with
Yeah,
the blood.
she notices that the blood has begun to dry, so she pours a little water on it and tries
Mhm.
again.
Yeah, same effect. It doesn't seem to have much more of effect as opposed to like rubbing massage oil on, stiff muscles.
What a comparison.
I do not like the gratification of this door.
This door is way too hype for that.
Sudi seems a little disgruntled and hands the sword back.
Nona will clean the sword. She'll take like a scrap of cloth, probably something she's used to bind her own wounds, to wipe it down.
Quinn, on the other hand, as you have been doing this, she's kind of been watching and has kind of a dazed appearance, almost like she's a little bit spaced out. And she walks over to the door and she's holding her dagger in her hand, which always seems to be in her hand and always seems to have wet blood on it. And without really paying much mind, she whispers almost just to herself. And she says, "It's just thirsty." At which she slices her hand open and places her hand against the door. And then, as if she's waking from like a dreamlike state, like if she was sleepwalking, she bursts back into awareness and starts screaming. As you can see, the blood that was dripping down her arm, where she had the cut, it was dripping down her arm. As she puts her hand against the door, that blood is drawn then into the door. And you can see the little channels of blood go throughout the door, and it brings this door to life, after which it groans in this really unsettling kind of way. And the door kind of morphs a little bit, and like, you know, when you like scratch a dog and it really enjoys it and it like arches its back, the door kind of does that kind of movement, and it shrinks just a little bit and allows it to open through that doorway. And Quinn takes 10 points of damage.
What kind of damage?
Ouchie kind.
Of blood sucked from your body damage. We'll call it exsanguination damage.
Self-exsanguination.
Yeah.
What did the blood going onto the door look like again?
I'm sorry?
What did the blood going onto the door look like again?
It seemed to be following channels and like almost like veins.
So not like the
Web-like?
wood grain, like
Yeah, it was like following the wood grain, but the grain was in such a way that it was resembling veins.
Did it like spread out from one center?
It spread out from where she put her hand. Yes.
Sudi's eyes light up when she notices that.
All right, time to go.
Yeah, so important question. Did we get a short rest out of that while we were discussing things?
Yeah, I'll give you a short rest if you want one.
woo.
Oh,
Okay.
thanks.
Did anybody
Kind and merciful DM.
that just means that something bad is coming.
For real.
It's true. I am not going to change anything on my character sheet for the shield until you put something in.
What you can do is just put a +1 bonus for your armor class.
Okay.
Or just remember that you have a +1, and I'll add the shields this week. I just was kind of busy this week.
Yeah, no problem.
Isn't it? It says +1 in addition to the shield's normal bonus to AC.
Correct.
Yeah.
So a +1 shield provides you a +3 AC bonus.
Oh, okay, is this seriously 4 points of-
The
Sorry,
door
we're taking a
opens.
short rest.
Sorry, go ahead.
Sorry, I was saying if we're taking a short rest, it's okay to roll hit dice.
Yep, you can roll hit dice if you need.
Thank
I'm
you very
gonna-
much.
Just remember to keep track of how many hit dice you've used.
Yeah, I'm keeping track on the side. I'm gonna use my last one heal up because I rolled 2.
All right. The door opens to a wide stone staircase overlooking a vast room. The central 60-foot long pathway is cleared, marked by white-blue flames on both sides. The path leads to a massive stone archway, and while the walls and floor of the room beyond the faint light of the torches are difficult to make out, you can see that there are successful metal racks visible next to each torch, and beside them, a pillar. Each of the 6 racks is shaped differently, and draped or wrapped around each successive rack are humanoid shapes. At the far end of the room, the archway is illuminated by 6 torches. But from this distance, not much more is visible. The room smells strongly of sterile cleaning fluids and powerful chemicals.
Cleaning fluids and chemicals. Ugh.
Each of the pillars appears to have been largely defaced, but however, seem to depict some scenes. Difficult to tell what those scenes are from this distance. It would require you to go down the stairs and into the room.
I'd like to try to cast light from the shield.
Okay.
She'll say, Yve.
I'm also looking out for any traps and being cautious based on our last interactions with the fire that came across.
Yeah, great. Go ahead and make a perception check for the searching for traps. And as Nona
He's probably doing that too.
As Nona utters the magical phrase, it resonates within the shield, which begins to vibrate at a very, very high frequency, and then settles and begins to emanate light.
I rolled a 2.
Okay.
So
Yep, the room looks perfectly safe.
very safe, guys.
Would Quinn check for traps?
I feel like Quinn would also check.
I think Quinn would check for traps. Okay. Quinn also does not spot any traps.
Mavely is like gonna walk up to Quinn and be like, "Your hand, are you out of your mind?" And she's gonna like wrap it in a band-aid, like a spare bit of cloth or something. What were you thinking?
I don't know. Something just came over me.
Yeah, don't do that again. What you're there's only so much blood in your body. You're this big. Jeez Louise.
I'm sorry.
I missed that. We at another door now?
No.
Okay.
You entered into a room.
You might want to pause for a second. People are trying to figure out the short rest in D&D Beyond about how that works with the automatic rolling.
I got that in.
Okay. Yeah, you just push short rest and select how many hit dice you want to use. And I think it does it automatically.
Well, I must have clicked the wrong thing because it didn't.
Yeah,
It didn't roll hit points automatically, so I just had to like roll separately and then add it manually.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
If you open it up, you have to click on one of the check boxes under automatically, and then it'll roll. It'll confirm, and then you have to roll, and then it'll do it on its own. But it's not super intuitive.
Yeah, it's not adding for me even after confirmation for some reason. So
Okay. Yeah, you can just heal them manually then.
I'm just gonna do that.
Yeah,
All
I
right.
just rolled it in the game logs so that way it's
Perfect.
transparent.
Awesome.
So this room is like magically lit.
It's
The room seems to be magically lit with a a white and blue flame.
Hey, Nona, what was that word that you used to make that shield?
Yeah, you say Ilve.
Ilve?
And as Edie speaks the word, you feel your shield begin to vibrate, and that resonance hones in, and then there's a burst of light that comes from the shield.
Ooh.
And the entirety
Wow.
of the shield is now glowing and emanating light.
Like headlights. It's amazing. Who needs lamps?
That's impressive.
How
She seems enthralled. She reaches out and touches the shield that Nona has.
how far does the light go?
It's just the light cantrip, so I believe it's 30 feet.
Okay. Is there a
She
way
looks
to
behind
add
the
that to
shield
my
too.
to my, is there a way I could just add that to my spell list?
I'll add it to the shield.
Okay.
The shield description. Let's see. So it does bright light in a 20-foot radius and then dim light for an additional 20 feet.
Okay. With the illumination of 20 feet in front of her, she's going to look for traps herself. Given
Okay.
the
So this room is lit. There are 6 torches on each of the pillars, and beside each one is the rack.
do the humanoid forms on the racks, are they adult proportions? Are they larger, or are they small childlike proportions?
They somewhere in between. Small adult.
Like perhaps like non-human, like dwarven or
More like elven.
elven? Okay. Are elves smaller than humans?
Slightly smaller, yeah.
Okay. So can I roll perception?
Yep.
All my bad rolls out now. Hopefully.
That's a dirty 20.
Okay. You do not notice any traps.
Cool. Do we see, so this is a hallway and there's gross, icky stuff on either side.
It's not so much a hallway as a really long room.
Is it long in the forward direction or the sideways direction?
Forward direction.
What's on the far side? Is there another door?
No. Oh, yes. Sorry. The far side of the room, there's another door. Yes.
Okay.
If I recall correctly, at one point you had mentioned somebody that you were involved with prior to meeting up with us that mentioned a second gate. I believe that was you, Mavly, that mentioned that at one point.
There was somebody we found at one point. He's the one that told us about the gate initially, and he mentioned multiple gates, but he's kind of an asshole. So I don't know whose word to take on that.
Did he
also
give
said
you
the
any
children were
detail
already dead?
that they were dead? Okay.
But no, he didn't give any details at all. He kind of gloated in being as vague as possible. But
Yeah,
I
he
wasn't
was.
exactly nice to him. So there's that.
Is there anything in this room other than just the pillars?
Beside each pillar is a rack.
A rack.
So like
Like the torture device of the rack?
no. So like armor racks or equipment racks, that type of rack.
Except they're people racks.
Well, each of the racks is shaped differently. But wrapped around or draped over each rack are humanoid shapes.
Shapes made of what?
Would you like to look closer?
Yes, cautiously.
If
Okay.
I see this happening, can I turn the shield just to shine some light on what's going on?
Yep.
I don't
The
wanna
first
look at
one you approach, the first pillar. I'm gonna just assume that you're going to the one on the right, unless you say otherwise.
Fine.
The first pillar to the right, it has some
it.
description. Let's see. It has some writing in a language that you've seen before. In fact, a lot of the what looks like graffiti that you've seen over some of the other iconography in here has also been in this language.
Infernal.
It looks similar to what the sword has described to you as infernal. And there are some words etched into this pillar. Beside it, you see a simple rack with a dark green cloak draped over it. Fastened to the cloak is a leathery parchment with 2 words scrawled on it in Elvish. And that is all that is on this rack.
But there was
I'm
another
s-
one that had bodies on it, right?
I'm still holding the sword if you want to ask Nona for the sword.
Like draped or wrapped around in like humanoid shape. So you can imagine that a cloak on a rack would have a humanoid shape,
Oh.
right? Yeah.
No corpses then.
You sound disappointed.
Well, you never know. It could pop up at you at any moment. You want to take a weapon maybe and
Stab at it.
just at least poke at it. See what it is without getting too close.
Remind me here who spoke Elvish. He's asking.
The sword speaks Elvish.
Oh.
Have at it, Lee.
So I've been holding the sword. I don't really know what to do with it. I suppose
Sorry,
I could,
didn't Suki have the sword?
and then I took it back to clean it.
Okay, right.
Sword, would you translate this for us, please?
Yes,
I
I
love that Ellie's
suppose.
just like, I'm not even gonna try to listen to any whispers or anything. I'm just sword. Translate this, please.
I said,
The-
please.
the sword speaks in your mind. It begins speaking in infernal, and completes the recitation, and then it says, and in your tongue, a nameless evil is stirred by Fernuine's boundless creations in the place beyond the stars. The things of that realm are consumed by his ceaseless hunger, creating an imbalance. Seeing a threat to all creation, the gods of balance in disguise convinces the outsiders to request aid from their enemies on the material plane.
I will tell people that. None of
Who
that
are their
sounds
enemies?
good. Sword, do you know who their enemies are?
The sword doesn't immediately respond, but says there are other inscriptions on these pillars. Perhaps that may shed some light.
What about the 2 words in Elvish on the cloak? Because that was a lot more than 2 words. So
Oh yeah. Sword, you didn't finish translating these scriptures.
Didn't you ask it what was on the pillar?
I asked what the words meant.
Okay. It says the words written in Elvish. It looks like handwritten in Elvish says, "I'm sorry."
Does anybody besides me kind of get the vibe that our 2 protectors didn't do so hot?
I am also getting the vibe.
Left their
they-
light shields in some corner.
Well, they did try to hide them. So, okay.
Perhaps
Why
they're
would they
trying-
do that?
Maybe perhaps they were trying to keep them from being destroyed by crazy cultist people.
So Cole had mentioned that he and his friends are trying to awaken the Nameless God by sacrificing children's souls
Right.
at the final gate, which implies there's multiple gates.
He only
So-
said that. Did he say there were more than 2?
Just gates, plural. and there was a final. So I
Mhm.
assume it's more than 2, because if
Mhm.
there was only 2,
You probably
why
would've
would you
said
have a
third.
final one? Maybe there's 3. 3 is a great number. But if the front door is the first gate that we come into, and then we came into that room and we saw this evidence of maybe not so sound minds, do you
Mhm.
think that they went further in? Do you think they went out? Do you think they are dead now? Do you think that, like,
I think the only way they could have gone is in. There's
what
no
if
other
one of
option.
them is the silent one?
One
One
of the
of-
kids.
No, one of the initial protectors.
They would have gotten out already. That's what you're saying. So that the outside gate was already open.
I'm just concerned.
You hear the sword humming in your mind. And it says to you, take me to the other pillars so I may decipher what they say.
The sword wants us to go and look at all of the words.
The sword likes you. It's like you're dating. It's asking you to go out a little one. That's fantastic.
Let's look at all the exhibits in this museum.
I'm all about it. Oh, Nona, you made a friend. That's like your third one ever. Okay, I'm gonna go over here now.
She's not laughing. I swear to God, I'm laughing because you're hilarious. But she is kind of pissed at you now.
Yeah, figured. But if she's mad, she's not scared, and then she'll hit things harder. See, I'm terrified. Okay.
I'm so sorry. Do we have time for this? I don't know if we have time for this.
I don't think we don't have time for this. What does the map show? Does the map change when we walked in the door?
The map is constantly changing.
Wade, would you want to take a look at that map and I can sit by you like we did before? See if we can communicate anything.
We can try to do that.
And then we can read the pillars while y'all look at the map. Look at us
All right.
multitasking.
All right.
Well, I think ideally I need the sword to read the map.
Never mind. Pillars first.
I think that us living beings need to not look at it because we become transfixed, it seems.
That's bad. How did we get so much magical crap in like a day and a half?
By walking into a magical place.
This is just bad.
By
Okay.
feeding a door with blood.
All of the above.
What did we expect? Okay, what's it say, Nona? Hook a girl up.
Give us the
11:30.
All right. All right. We're doing this.
All right.
I'll just go
As
next
you
then.
as you carry the sword to each of the 6 pillars, it begins to translate first in Infernal, the section that I already translated to you.
Mhm.
The second pillar, it says, this pillar is written in Celestial, dedicated to the gods Celagon, Ferrati, and Heligaros. And it reads, as the battle rages to stop the forces of destruction, the gods of light, fear, and dream craft a pocket dimension to contain the nameless evil. As you move to the third pillar, it
That's here.
says this one is scribed in Giant, dedicated to the gods Neldich, Aldich, Agala, and Yagoran. It reads, the giants build great tunnels, arches, and a bastion to seal the nameless one using magic, dampening stones gifted to them by the gods. The fourth pillar, dedicated to Taliga in Dwarvish. So you can actually read
I
this
can
one
actually
on your
just read
own.
this one.
says the greatest dwarven and elven crafters imbue the arches, the bastion, and the final gateway with powerful runes. The fifth pillar, written in Draconic, dedicated to Ainder, Ukathe, and Ultigan, reads, the first dragons aid in the battle against the Nameless God. Their conflict reshapes the world. They successfully push the unspeakable horror through the gateway into the realm of dreams and imprison it within the bastion. The final pillar, dedicated to Borka, Oathgul, and the All Shadow, written in Old Elvish, reads, the translation from the sword says, this image is largely defaced. But it says the elves sacrifice countless souls to seal the gate and force the Nameless God into deep slumber. And as you pass each rack, since you're going next to the racks, reading the pillars, you would notice that the second rack holds
I wouldn't sue you to be poking at the stuff on the racks while they're reading the pillars.
Okay. So the second rack holds a full set of gleaming armor, a short sword sheathed at its side. Although the shield is missing, all of the gear is made of mithril. On the third rack is draped a pale, leathery coat and pants set, accompanied by what could either be a mask or a cap, crowned with dark locks.
A cap crowned with dark, like hair locks?
Yes. The next rack is an intricate compilation of leathery objects that appear to have been sewn together in the rough form of a grotesque humanoid. The figure is posed in a manner implying worship in the direction of the far door. If you would like, you can give me a medicine check.
Sure. Maybe Wood could also help me on this.
I can do that.
Sure, either each of you can roll or one of you can do so at advantage.
I figured we could each just roll.
Well, I rolled, so.
Okay.
What's my, I rolled a 10 plus 2. That's a 12.
A
I
what?
also got a 12.
Okay,
Double
a 12.
12s.
A 12 is what you needed. So with a medicine check, you are able to discern that the form is actually formed from humanoid muscles and organs.
Yeah.
The second to last rack holds together a series of dark sinews that form the shape of a humanoid. The expression, one of sheer terror, is accented by the addition of eyeballs.
Ah.
The figure is posed in a manner implying worship in the direction of the far door. The final rack displays an immaculate set of distorted bones. While the figure is vaguely humanoid, possibly elven, something has clearly warped the proportions, elongating the limbs, fingers, feet, and teeth.
Would a religion roll help give me any more context for any of this?
Sure, give it a whack. If you also would like, make a perception check.
Do these look like they were originally that way or posed that way later?
They look like they have been intentionally posed.
I got a 9 for both.
Can I do the same thing?
Sure.
I also
Would casting additional light assist anybody?
It's pretty well lit in the room. There are 6 torches and you have both of your shields glowing. So it's pretty bright in here.
All right. For religion, I got an 18, and for perception, I got a 15.
Okay. I think the first thing you would notice is that on the final rack, on one of the fingers is what looks like a simple silver wedding ring. With your religion roll, you're taken back to some ancient rituals that you heard of where a person was essentially
Like mummified?
stripped down to their bare essences. It's like a ritual kind of sacrifice where you take the outermost layer and then go in one layer and go in another layer, kind of like working from the outside to your way in. So in terms of mechanics, Nona is looking at this and she's seeing the first rack is a cloak, right? And then as you go in, it's armor, okay? And then it's a cloak and pants, right? So it would be underneath the armor. And then you have leathery objects sewn together. Could be
skin.
like skin, right? And then beneath that you have muscles and tendons sewn together. And then beneath that are the bones.
Bones. The bones of the last one.
Yes.
I'll explain this to Wid. This seems to be like a step-by-step process.
The elongation of the bones, I'll kind of give you the benefit of the doubt because you rolled pretty well on that religion. The elongation of the bones gives you this pang of familiarity.
Oh, does it look like the silent one?
It doesn't look like the
Like
silent one,
proportionally?
but there are some similarities. Particularly on the sections that are like leathery, the skin, it looks like there is some tattooing. In the area that you make out as potentially being the forehead area, it looks like there are 3 circles.
Perhaps this is a ritual to create such a beast as the silent one.
Judy looks interested on the stuff on the second shelf. Does it look like it would fit her?
Please don't take it. Please. don't take
How
it.
tall is she?
I'll double check.
Human size, right?
Yes, but
If
I think she was like 5'7".
It would probably be too small.
Okay.
I
so you're
need
saying there's a
everybody.
chance.
I need everybody in the room
To make dexterity savings.
to make sanity saving throws
There we go.
upon the realization of what is actually on these racks. That these are actual
People.
humanoid body parts and whatnot.
Dirty 20.
Okay.
Oof, 2.
Oh, not good.
12.
Roll the 15. I'm just trying to see what my modifier was. I think it's a +1. Yeah, total 17.
17. Okay.
8.
All right.
So I
Wait, no,
won't
sorry,
think
total of
it's worth-
16. Sorry.
16?
Yeah,
Okay.
sorry,
And, but still an 8 for Jamie.
Total is 10 for me. That's my -1.
All right. The realization of what this is, for those of you who rolled below a 14, take 20 stress damage. And for those of you who failed, this took all of you past the tipping point of 50. You feel like you've begun to lose your grip on reality. Something snaps in your mind, and you really want to get out of this room. You have the sudden sensation of feeling dizzy, alternately gaining a morbid fascination with the display.
Could I have a twist to Sudi's reaction?
Sure.
Okay. Well, when she saw the door with the blood moving out in tendrils in a web-like formation, she got the impression that she has entered a sort of spider's lair, and that any body she finds in here will have been the meal of the master of the spider hall. So she feels sort of at home, but in a weird way. So I don't think she'd feel like leaving this room. I think she'd feel like she has some special calling that makes her connected to this creepy place in a weird way.
Yeah, I'll go with that, but I think more so you definitely have that fascination because of that connection, but I think you also get the overpowering sensation that you're about to be dinner.
Okay.
Mavely immediately starts backing up. She's like, nope. Felt
So
this
where's the
before.
nearest exit?
Backing up.
There appears to be an exit at the opposite end of the room.
Well, Sudi rushes toward it. Who else does?
I mean, if we feel actively threatened, Wood's probably going to go into bear form.
Okay.
So if she has, I guess, any wits about her, she would cast bark skin and then she would go into bear form.
Yeah, awesome. What does it look like when she goes into her bear form? Give us a visual of like what happens to her body, sounds, smells, shapes.
Sure, I will make it fitting for this environment. So she goes out onto all fours and like her shoulders kind of pop out and the skin on her head like splits and something like starts kind of coming out of it and you start to see fur poking out and her outer skin like peels off into a pile in front of this huge bear. And then the bear eats the skin that's left over. And
As
all
that's
of
happening, Sudi screams, "It consumes her!"
Oh my God, I love it. That's amazing.
Mavely 1000% at this point just runs to Nona and like hides behind her. Like, I'm not even looking. I grab her cloak and I bury my face in it
Okay. She'll
like a little kid.
okay.
probably not how she normally turns, but I think that it works for this setting.
Yeah, what is going through Nona's mind and Edie's mind right now as they're looking at the rest of their group who appear to very clearly be having panic attacks?
Are they seeing something I'm not?
I have no
you-
idea. They just, I don't know. They just all started out of nowhere.
No, we've got to go. We've got to go. We've got to go.
Yeah,
Nona's
yeah,
nothing
no,
coming,
we're
we gotta
going.
go.
We're going. Hey, we're going.
You're not moving though.
Right, because look, we have to move as a group because we're safer together.
Together. Are you sure? Because there's a bear there.
Why are you a bear?
Win, are
Asking
you
the
still
pertinent
in there at all? Hello, Win?
The bear is nodding its head yes, but I don't think I can talk in this form yet. So.
Did you see something? Is it here? You can't-
Bear shrug.
Bear.
That
Well-
bear's gonna start trundling towards the door and charge it here in a second. We gotta go.
Yeah, so the bear's gonna be kind of pacing a little bit and like snorting, like snuffling a lot, making a lot of
Mhm.
noise.
There's a hungry bear in the room.
That's just Wid. That's just Wid. She's here to protect herself and all of us. As long as we don't look like a threat to her, she'll be fine.
Nona, you look
You
like
don't
a
look
threat
like
to
a threat.
everybody.
You don't look like a threat. I have a shining shield.
Hey,
Dun, da, da, da.
not to interrupt, but if anybody needed, I learned of some deep breathing techniques and anger management ages ago.
Oh,
If y'all want, let's take some nice deep breaths.
yeah.
And calm down.
Madly.
The bear's like,
Uh,
It's not working.
What's
gotta
Quinn
go.
Get the
doing?
floor count.
I love the
Chris, I'm
idea of the
coaching everyone into
barbarian.
doing box breaths.
The barbarian is teaching people anger
I
management.
love that so much.
Well,
And I'm
Sudi,
100% going to try and keep that going.
Sudi's halfway out the door, and she shouts to the others, "Leave the feeding room!"
Is
Sudi?
okay, so
Sudi, hold on.
is Sudi continuing deeper into the room towards the opposite door?
She's heading toward the direction they were heading in
Okay,
to
great.
go further in.
So as several of you begin quickly moving towards that door, as you approach the door, you get a very chill sensation as a semi-translucent spectral figure
Oh,
appears before you.
great.
And the figure is that of a female elf garbed in elegant silks. She has dark hair, numerous piercings, striking facial tattoos. Specifically, she has 3 circles in a pyramid on her
Mhm.
forehead, and jumps between seeming scared or like she's prepared to fight. And she looks at you and says, "Chalier Sio."
Sword.
The sword translates in your mind and says, "This is ancient Elvish for who are you?"
Am I like not comically far away? Can I say that I'm
It's
like
up to you.
okay?
Did you
I would like
follow
to
them as
be
they? Mhm.
yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
Mavley's still behind her. She'd be pushing.
we're
going this way.
mhm,
We're going this way.
calmly with purpose. She would have been okay. So she's not like comically shouting from like the opposite end of like a long hallway. She's
Mhm.
like just having a conversation. We're here to retrieve children.
What language are you replying in?
Oh yeah. Actually, can I reply in my head to the sword?
No, you cannot.
Okay. Sword, how do I say we're here to retrieve children? In Elvish.
in ancient Elvish, is
Yeah.
that okay?
Mhm.
Oh, this should be funny.
And it says, "Give us your kids."
Not
The-
not
Taking the
rescue.
children.
Retrieve.
The sword will recite a phrase to you. And I would like you to make a performance roll to
Let's
see
go.
how accurately you can recite that phrase.
Well, what's my performance? Okay, +2. Okay, so that is a 17.
17. And what exactly were you wanting to say?
We have come to retrieve our children.
Everyone would hear the spectral figure say something further in ancient Elvish, and the sword would then translate to you and says, "She wishes to know why exactly you are here, as the children have already passed."
Sword, does she mean passed as in like passed through or passed on?
He once again, or it once again, gives you a phrase. And I'll just ride on that 17. And you recite that phrase, and she responds again, and the sword translates and says, "Passed through." And then the specter begins to speak again, and the sword continues translating and says, "The bad people came through earlier and wouldn't talk to me."
Oh no. That's probably because they don't have this sword. Is there not a way to take the children from beyond and come back?
You see, you translate, and you see her expression looks pleadingly, and she says, "Please, won't you help me? You must release me from this place. If you do, I will help you get through the door."
Insight check
Okay.
on an ancient lady.
Duty's trying to inch past her during this conversation.
Okay. Make a
Sudi.
stealth roll.
Edie's trying to keep everyone calm together as much as possible.
Yeah. What
At
did
this-
Nona get?
I'm trying to
I do
remember
checks in
what- oh,
bear
yes,
form.
plus 4. So that would be shoot,
9.
what did I have? Dang it. Can I roll again? Because I completely forgot what I I'm
You
so
forgot what you were rolling?
I forgot what I rolled and I picked it up absentmindedly.
Sure, go ahead. Roll
I'm
again.
so sorry.
Duty got a 9 for slipping past the
Okay.
inspector.
Okay.
All right. So that's a 13 plus 4. So it's 17.
Okay. You don't detect any deception based on that.
Okay. Guys, she says she'll help us if we release her.
Then release her.
Okay.
She says, "Please remove that which binds me to this plane, and I shall help you pass safely."
Bear shakes its head
What-
no.
What
Sudi reaches above the specter's head to try to grab anything that's
oh, that's nice of her. What is that which keeps you tethered to this plane?
Who is
She
this person?
she points over to the remains on the racks and says,
Ring.
"You must destroy that which binds me to this plane."
Which one? Which rack?
All of them.
Burn it with fire.
It's gonna take some time. Um,
Please, I have been here for so long.
yes.
Edie,
Um,
is Ellie talking to a ghost through a sword? Is that what I'm hearing?
Yeah, you're hearing Ellie speak words in a language that you don't know.
but she's doing a damn good job.
It seems like she knows the language.
Did the
No,
sword
well,
take
there's
over
definitely
Nona?
Nona listens to the sword, even though it's in her head, she
Yeah,
listens
there's
to
a
it like it's a
delay.
phone.
Mhm.
She listens to it like it's a phone. So she's like,
We're still mid panic,
Oh,
kids.
so she hasn't
So-
relayed any of this yet?
I
No.
relayed some of it. I told them that
That she wants a
needs to be-
superior.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
the conversation is in ancient Elvish.
Right.
Mhm.
Guys, she says she needs everything to be destroyed. Is there like sort is it like, does it need to be destroyed in a specific way?
She kind of like pleads to you. She says, "It must be destroyed through ritual means, but please, I must get away from this place."
Were you asking the sword or her?
I was asking the sword to give me the translation. So you guys actually can hear her ask the sword for a translation for each phrase that she wants, and then she'll say
Oh,
it.
Okay,
So you guys are hearing half of a conversation.
I assumed after like the first try, the sword would just automatically translate back and forth.
Right, but he still needs to know what I want to say
Right. You would say it in common.
in common
Mhm.
first. Yeah.
So does Lee know what's being said? Sorry, that's unclear.
I'm saying my stuff in common to the sword, which then the sword is telling me, and then I say it again. So I'm saying my same phrase twice each time, but once in common and once in ancient Elvish.
Okay. Have you something about like how do I release you from this world or anything? to that
Yeah, so
effect?
I just asked her if they need to be destroyed in a specific way, and she said by ritualistic means. And I asked her, what ritual? And then I say, what ritual?
She says,
Please
she
listening.
responds and says, I don't remember, but I hope those as powerful as you could find a way.
Guys, she doesn't remember.
You seem like good, well-intentioned people. I'm sure
Ellie.
you will help me. Am I wrong?
If it is within our means.
Please.
Ellie, who the hell is that?
She's someone that's like bound to here.
Does the specter look any different from the back?
Wit.
Hmm.
Come here.
Bear snuffle, yes.
The specter will occasionally glance over at Abby, or sorry, not Abby, at Sudi. And will say, no, be careful, it is trapped. Only I know how to open it safely.
Oh. Sudi, come back. Sudi, come back.
She steps back toward you.
She said that it's trapped. So don't go near the door.
More dangerous than this room?
No, that part of the room is trapped. This part of the room is safer than that part of the room. So come back.
Sudi comes back and stands next to you.
Thank you. Wid, there's an ancient elvish ritual that needs to be done to release this lady from her bindings, but she doesn't remember the ritual. I'm gonna need your help to think of something to try before we move on. Because we have to try.
Lee
Why?
interjects this and says, can we not just burn it?
She said it's a ritual.
Well, there's got to be some sort of a
Burn it while
way
you
to
dance
reach
around
maybe-
it.
Do you think maybe we could possibly reach Celagon or Ilmater and maybe one of them would know? Or anyone else's deities?
I feel like
Right.
we're cut off from them here. This is like
Who's
things-
carrying Old Siggy? Is Wid.
The bear.
bear.
Oh geez. Okay. Never mind.
I mean, it's still technically with me, I guess. 'cause
Yeah,
my
but
stuff's with
it's
me.
magically morphed as part of you right now.
What is Old Siggy again?
Secrets.
That's a good question.
All right, never mind. Okay, so
Z, I would like my bear to roll insight on how it feels about the specter.
Sure.
Assuming
for
it's just
please don't roll a one.
it's a dirty 20.
Cat.
30-20.
Cat.
Okay. Kess, I'm gonna send you a message real quick.
Edie,
Continue to discuss.
Edie, we're talking to ghosts. We're talking about releasing a ghost that was ritualistically bound here.
Yep. But
Yeah,
look at her.
Everything's okay.
She looks
everything's okay.
fine.
She doesn't look fine. She looks dead. She looks a long time dead. She looks a long time dead that she's supposed
She
to be
said
here
she'll help us
dead.
though.
Yeah,
that-
so did
that-
Cole. Cole said he'd help us and he was way less dead.
Okay, well, Cole was a creep. This is a nice young
She's
lady.
a creep. Doesn't look like a nice person. She looks dead. Nothing is good.
I don't
Look at
leave
this, look at this.
behind people that I haven't even tried to help.
I also, Mavely, didn't the elves try to seal off this nameless god in the first place?
Yeah, here. in here.
But
In
but
here.
if she's but if it, far be it for me to generalize, but if her people fought against evil, chances are she's not on the side of evil,
Or
right?
she's one of the ones
Logically
they wanted to
speaking?
keep in here. Logically speaking.
Logically speaking, if her people were against evil, chances are so is she.
Can I ask the sword to tell me how to say what is your name?
Yeah, sword tells you,
Asking
and
the good
she
questions. Edie.
she thinks
need
for a
a
minute and
hug.
says, I do not remember my name. I have not used it in so long.
Do you remember the ritual in which you were put here? Is it the one depicted on these walls?
I'm not sure, but I think I was here as some kind of protector.
Hey,
If you-
Nona, how
if
much
you're-
of this are you translating to all of us, by the way?
At this point, I think I will be translating what she says. Because this is okay. So she doesn't know what her name is, but she said she was bound here as some sort of protector. I want to say thank you for being a protector. You must have worked so hard for so long. And I also want to ask, what do you think will happen to the thing you're protecting once you're gone?
I am already dead. I am bound here as a spirit. I wish to be released from this place. I cannot bear to stay here any longer.
Hey, what?
She was real sad, guys.
Well,
We
who
gotta
wouldn't
try.
be?
We gotta try.
So the bear is going to walk up to where she is and actually a little bit behind her. It's a door or
It is a door, yeah.
okay. And sniffing around in all of the corners and the edges and her and just kind of gonna do a perception check.
Wid. She
Okay.
said it's trap. There's traps, so be very careful.
The bear
What were
looks
the
at you
twins' names?
and then keeps doing it.
Okay. Yeah, make that perception roll.
12.
Okay. With a 12, I think Wid would not notice anything unusual about the door. It looks like a normal double door.
Bear shrug.
They're sassy.
What were the names of the elven twins again? Or not elven, whoever the protector people.
Shield 1 and shield 2.
Right, shield
Right.
1 and shield 2.
Are
One's
you
blue and one's
asking?
red.
Are you asking me?
Yeah. Would Mavly remember that at this point in
Yeah,
panic?
I think so, because like this is kind of Mavly's thing. Like she remembers stuff like this. The twin shields were Kel Paris and Loriak.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. There it is.
So at some point she would probably say one of those names and see if there was a reaction.
Okay. I think which name?
The Loriak first, or whatever it is. Sorry, names.
Okay. Yeah, when Mavly says Loriak, the ghost would look at Mavly and say, I recognize that name.
She recognizes it.
And
Yes, I
Mav-
believe that was once my name.
And she says the
Oh,
other
that's
name.
her name, guys. That's her name.
What about
Do-
the other
do we-
name?
Hold on, do we believe her?
Yeah, is my insight ongoing or is it?
Yeah, I'll say that your insight would be ongoing. I'll let you know if you sniff anything.
I'm also right up there in her face. And I guess if it is literally sniffing, I get advantage as a bear. Oh,
let's
did
see.
Z crash on us?
Z?
Yeah, well, considering she's a ghost, I'm going to say she probably doesn't.
You didn't have a base anymore.
Oh,
Oh,
you're
You're
frozen.
like frozen.
The faceless one.
Oh,
Did I
God.
crash?
Oh,
The silent
Am
one
I
now.
good?
yeah, he
he's
has
back.
a base.
He's
Got
back.
some
we
latency
good?
issues. Yeah, we got you back.
Okay.
For good or for bad.
Yeah.
I could hear you guys, but apparently you couldn't hear me.
Yeah, it's a little bit in and out on my side, but I see and hear you again, so that's good.
Okay, yeah, there appears to be some lag issues. I don't know how to deal with that.
Hey, Nona,
Yeah. Mhm,
do you
mhm.
think maybe she would recognize one of the shields if we hold him up?
Yeah. So, sword. How do I say? So one of these was yours.
The Spectre glances at the shield and kind of looks at it and kind of trails her incorporeal finger down and through it, and says, "This does seem very familiar to me."
You've been here a long time.
I have forgotten how long.
Oh, I already lost.
The bear's gonna stand
Um,
up and put its front paws on the double doors and push it.
Okay. Make a strength athletics check for me.
Yeah, bears. Nona will say, and Kel Paris was your twin.
She kind of quirks her head to the side and says, "That name too is familiar to me, but I do not remember."
Is it like a good is it a good familiar or a bad familiar?
I do not know.
Okay, that's fine.
It's an 8, I think, for my brown bear form.
No.
Okay. Yeah, that is good enough. With the
An 8?
weight of your body, the bear kind of props up on the door and pushes, and the door opens.
Does she react? What is
She, as the door opens, the bear pushes on it. She says, "No, no, you must help me escape from this place. Please don't leave me here."
so much for trapped.
Is this translated too?
Yeah. Now I'm just really sad. Okay,
Hey,
but
who
I
knows,
have an
maybe-
idea. I have an idea.
What's your idea?
So if she was bound somehow by taking things off one at a time, what if we put things back together?
Remake the body?
And then burn it.
But
I'm
if
gonna
she
do a
lied, why
Medical
would we do
check to
that?
see whether Sig could know how to put a body back together.
The bear shakes its head.
Nah, got an 8.
Make a. I would like one of you. You can decide who does it, to make a religion check.
Would you
say a
mind
paladin
if it were me? Because the other, well, wait, is Edie a religion person?
It's a +1. So.
Okay, no, I have a +3. Wid would probably also, but she's a bear and can't talk.
Edie's got like some religious background, but she's not
So you can assist?
specifically trained the way that
Would
Nona
also
might be.
Mavli would also, she knows things.
And I know our player's not here, but if Quinn what would Quinn know that might help us? Does Quinn have any
I don't
knowledge?
think she would know
Quinn
much.
is not a religious type.
Okay.
I think Nona Ellie should do the check with Edie assisting.
Yeah, can I give assistance somehow?
Are you proficient with religion?
I am not.
No.
Then the answer is unfortunately no.
Can the bear give me?
Bear doesn't want to help you do this.
Okay, cool. That's fine.
I'm +0, so I'm out of this one.
That's a 13.
Okay. I would say with your knowledge of like bound creatures, like spirits bound to places.
Yeah.
Generally spirits are not bound to like a place, but they're bound to objects. So like if an object is removed from a place, then the spirit would also then be able to leave said place.
Would the spirit then travel with the object?
Yes.
Removed like destroyed or removed like just taken away?
I think with a 13, that's all I'm going to give you.
Yeah. I have a feeling I know the answer.
Bear's gonna try to nudge Nona to go through the door and to move on.
Wid. I think that maybe if we take this ring, then she'll be like, do you think that's really a bad idea?
Bear nod.
Like people will get hurt, bad idea?
Bear nod.
Mavely's standing over with Edie going,
Is there any universal sign for time, like pointing to a watch that I can somehow
Taps the bear
mime,
paw.
like in bear form for this world?
I think in like medieval time, maybe you'd like look towards the sun and like look back at the person, you know, like the sun is going down kind of thing. But seeing as you're
Mhm.
underground, that probably wouldn't be relevant.
Oh, did we lose them?
So
all?
it's up to you guys. If you think that there
yes,
would be something, then I'll accept it.
I think I could get the. Nona was good at charades back at the church. You know, during community
I think
events.
this is a
she
sign
has
for
a
time.
horde of kids.
I do have a horde
So
of
many.
children.
And Wid hasn't really
Many
been
children.
impatient until now.
Mhm. Yeah, I think, let's say if you want to do like a performance check with, see how well you can get your point across that you're like, we need to go. And
Okay.
depending
Well,
on how well you roll, I'll decide how much information you can convey.
Bears have a lot of charisma. Let's give this a shot. It's a 13.
Okay, that's a reasonable success. I would say you successfully convey that there is not a lot of time with which, you know, you can just lollygag around kind of thing. Wit is clearly in a hurry.
Do we put the body back together or do we burn it?
I don't think either of those things are going to help.
I mean, can she wait until we handle this Nameless God business and save kids, and then we can set her free? Not to sound insensitive, but I mean, it's not like she's going anywhere.
You really want me to ask her that? You really want me to tell her that right now?
Maybe in different words. I don't know. You know how to make these sound nicer than I do.
Well, what's she gonna do? Follow us? Let's just go. We can free
Okay.
her later.
Okay,
Children,
okay. I'll tell her. And then okay.
you're not gonna say nothing. Just walk.
Well, save the kids.
She
and
had
we'll come
all
back
this-
for her.
all this time to learn common and she didn't. It's not my fault. She's got a problem with learning.
She had no one to
Bear
teach her.
chuckle.
We come
Yes.
back and teach her. Should we make it out of here and get them kids safe?
Okay.
Creepy.
All right, let me finish.
Revolving
I'm about to
statue.
tell her, and then we can go.
Mavely just walks. I don't need to talk to a ghost.
That's
Wow.
fine. That's
The
fine.
bear crosses claws and an X over her eye.
That's fine. Okay, so Loriak, with all of what I know of your legacy and your history, I don't believe that I will be able to properly release you until we leave this dream space. When we come back out, I will take this ring, which I think you are bound to, with us, and we will all be able to escape.
Bear growls at that.
She says, you promised to take all of my remains with you when you leave.
I don't think that we can do that. There's quite a bit of you,
Please,
but I can do this ring.
please, I cannot bear to stay here any longer.
That's
Yeah,
all I
me
can
either.
give to you.
Be lighter if you burned it.
Does Nona think that you can burn armor?
I don't know. Does Nona think that you can burn armor?
I don't think that you can burn armor. Does Sudi think that we can burn armor?
She wasn't considering the armor as part of her.
That's fair.
I think
We will be
Lo
back
would
soon.
just
We will be
fine
back soon.
at this point.
And then we gotta go. The we gotta go is it out of character.
Lee is just bringing a torch over to some of the armor and seeing if it burns.
Aw.
To the metal armor, the mithril?
Well, it's mithril. How about I'll start with the leather-like armor first. See what happens.
Okay, you're gonna hold a torch to it.
Yes.
Okay. I'm sorry about this. Please roll initiative.
Oh, cool. Okay. Well.
All of my diplomacy.
All of us or just Lee?
Yep, everyone in the room.
Okay.
I was so close.
Ooh. 17.
It's not your fault, Nancy. It's okay.
Well,
It's not my fault. It might be Lee's fault, but
Okay, who got the 17?
Duty.
Bear has a
Um,
16. I'll go in order.
Okay, 16. Did anybody get higher than a 17? Okay,
Nope.
15, 14, 13,
12.
12, Nona.
Mavly.
And Mavly's also at 12.
I think you're more dexterous than I am.
I am not.
I have a -1.
Oh,
Okay,
maybe
11.
I am.
11, 10.
I had 12 as well.
Okay,
Those
80.
dexterous dwarves.
I got an 8, so I'm probably last.
Okay.
What about a Quinahawk?
Quinn.
Or she's just gonna hide. She can just
Quinn
hide.
rolled a 7, which puts her at a +2, so she's at 9. Okay. Hey, look at that. It's our first group combat.
Yay!
What are we
Okay.
fighting?
Yeah,
Excited to
that's
find
a-
out.
We're about to find
That's a-
out.
Good question. What are you fighting?
These terrible decisions under duress.
Duty must have been quite on edge during this whole conversation. Just ready to spring.
We've got like the bear and the bard and Sudi. Are you a barbarian?
Mm-hmm.
The bear, the bard, and the barbarian are kind of over by the door.
I like that. The Bear, the Bard, and the Barbarian. It's like a kid's story.
Right.
Maybe these.
I'll write that into a children's book.
Bring it on.
Right. As you hold the flame up to the leathery object that appears to have been sewn together, a 15-foot radius of magical darkness extends out from it and moves with it as it spreads out.
Magical darkness? Are you kidding me, Lee?
Nope, not kidding.
No.
Does it do anything, or is it just like a physical appearance of spreads out?
It is a darkness that spreads and consumes you. So the light being emitted from your torch is extinguished. The heat is still there, but it is no longer emitting any light. Being inside that radius of magical darkness, you can see absolutely nothing.
It's fun.
For those of you nearby, but not in the immediate vicinity of said darkness, you see this area of darkness emanate from where Lee is, and you see the mithril armor begin to move, and you see the cloak begin to flutter off the rack, float across the ground, moving towards the larger group of you. The bones pull themselves off the rack and begin shambling towards you in a very disjointed, jerky motion, with the 3 holes in its forehead beginning to glow. The
3 holes in its forehead. Great.
Do
they glow red, Z?
The muscles that were stitched together, the muscles that were stitched together appear to pull themselves together off of the rack, and stepping down off of the rack as you see the sinew and the muscles stretch and pull as it moves this aged, dried, emaciated figure across the floor towards you. Okay.
4 total?
Sorry?
Just 4 total entities, I'll call them for lack of better
4
words.
total that you can see, yeah.
Okay, so we're in the dark, right?
The area where Lee is and its immediate vicinity is in total blackness. So one of the racks that was next to the rack that Lee is at is also concealed in blackness, so you can't see 2 of the racks.
Okay, but we can see those figures that were made of body parts.
Yes, it appears that there is some sort of animated creature coming off of each of the 4 racks that you can see, and 2 of them are now concealed in darkness, one of which includes Lee.
Well, Sudi thinks the one that has muscles is the biggest threat, so that's the one she goes for.
Okay.
In a spider stance, she crouches down, springs forward, swinging her weapon around her to slice at it. Then I will.
Where is the ring right now?
Only got a 9.
The ring is on the finger of the skeleton.
Okay.
I only got a 9 to hit.
All right. So as Sudi rushes forward to slash at the sinewy, muscly creature, it more nimbly than you would expect steps to the side, and the blade arcs beside it, cleanly missing it.
Sudi cusses under her breath. Phlegm.
All right. Wid.
Is the muscle one closest to me, or?
You were on the opposite end of the room.
It's near the door, so maybe the bone one?
Yeah, I think you are nearest the bone one.
Okay. Well, the bear will go after whatever's closest. And for the first attack, it's going to be a bite attack. And I'm not sure how to do wild shape attacks. I think I'm just going to roll manually and do the math.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's a good idea.
Because I'm not sure how to do this in bear form on this sheet. So
And what's she biting?
Bones.
she's gnawing on some bones.
Okay.
Chewing
Right.
on some bones.
So that's 19 to hit.
Okay. That will contact.
That's 6 points of damage, of piercing damage.
Piercing damage. Okay.
And then the second attack is claws. That is 12 to hit.
Okay. 12 will just miss. So your claws scrape against it, but it doesn't seem to affect it very much. What was your first damage? Remind me. It was 6?
Yeah.
Okay.
And that was piercing.
Okay. So the bear lunges forward and tries to maul the skeleton. Nona.
What is Loriak doing? Did she like turn off? Did she disappear? Is she like freaking out?
Right. So as soon as you messed with the equipment,
Mhm.
the specter kind of faded.
Did she look like she was reacting at all to this?
She looked scared.
All right. Great. All right. Cool. Is it, since I have a -1 dex, I feel like didn't 2 other people, aren't they going before me?
I mean, if you want to do that, that's fine with me, but I don't really care because essentially it's all at the same time.
That's fair.
So
Plus, I think Mavli is still kind of underneath her cloak somehow.
No,
Mhm.
she's over by Wood now.
Oh, she's over.
so
by window.
people at the same initiative essentially go at exactly the same time.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just in
Um,
terms of order, you usually say, okay, who has the highest initiative, but it doesn't really matter.
Does the how far away am I from the darkness?
So the room was 60 feet.
Okay.
And the
mithril was
one that Lee touched was towards the side of the room that you came in. So I'm going to say you're probably about 40 feet away.
all right. Actually, can Edie go or Mavli go before me?
Sure.
I have to look something up. Sorry.
Sure. Go ahead, Mavli.
Mavli pulls out her warhammer and smacks the same thing that Wid was smacking.
All right.
Nice.
Smashing the skeleton.
22.
22. It connects solidly.
That's
Crush them
wonderful.
bones.
Squishity squish squish. 9 damage.
9 damage. Wow. The
Mavli's not happy.
the warhammer connects with this skeleton and it's almost like hammers are very good at crushing bone. And it kind of like shatters several of the ribs. It looks badly damaged. It's still moving, however, towards the group.
So I do have 2-weapon fighting, and I can use my bonus action to attack with my dagger.
Your bonus. action?
Bonus. Yeah. I see what you did there and I like it. Okay. How do I get there now? Oh no, it's closed. Okay. Oh, that's not bad. 23
Wow, that's good hit.
and 5.
5 damage. Reduced to 2. What does it look like when Mavli crushes this skeleton?
It looks like confusion and panic because Mavli's just like, there's a bear and there's bones, and so like she reels back with one and smashes the rib cage, and then it's still moving, so she picks up her dagger and slams it into the skull and is like, I don't know, Nona, did I do it right?
You did it right.
Did it
Good
stop
job.
moving? I don't know. And she just
Get
keeps
the
like,
ring.
what? That's probably my turn.
What?
That's it.
What?
There you go. Crack, 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 crack. What?
All
I'm
right.
not combat oriented, you guys.
That's fine.
All right. The cloak creature.
I
I'm
forgot they get
so
to go
worried
to-
about Lee right now.
Lee, you feel very claustrophobic suddenly as something envelops you. And it is going to attempt to grapple and crush you. For this
Fabric-based
for
muscles
this
are terrifying.
roll, you are at disadvantage because you cannot see it. So I need you to make a strength athletics or a dexterity acrobatics roll in opposition to my roll.
Either or, right? Okay, so first roll was 11. And second is 12. Okay, so 11 then.
11. Okay. You are considered restrained.
Yay.
And you take 6 points of bludgeoning damage.
Okay. Alrighty.
Yep. Okay. Nona,
All
you
right,
ready?
I'm ready. I'm gonna see if I'm not that fast, so I can't even get that close.
Yeah, dwarves at their 25 movement speed.
Yeah.
We move with purpose, not speed.
Would I know if the cantrip light can penetrate darkness? I feel like I would know that it wouldn't.
It
be able
cannot.
to. Okay.
Yeah. Very few things can penetrate magical darkness.
It's true. I learned that the hard way. But what I'm just going to take the dash action, honestly,
Okay. Where are you dashing to?
to where I last saw Lee. And
Okay, so are
Lee is
you
the only one
going-
on that side of the room, right?
That's
Everyone
correct.
else is
Mhm.
okay.
Yeah. Are you going to run into the darkness?
Yeah.
right.
Because
Because Nona has a hero complex.
because I have a hero complex.
Okay, 50 feet. I would like you to make a dexterity saving throw to avoid tripping over something.
All right. Also, should I roll a sanity roll because of darkness?
Oh, right. Yes.
Yeah. All right. So first, I'm
Thank
going to
you
do the
for
dex
reminding me.
saving throw. Yeah, because this. So what I meant by darkness, I meant like absolute darkness. So this specifically will be triggering.
Oh yeah.
Is she scared of the dark?
This is yeah. She's scared of the dark.
I am okay. So dex saving throw. Yep, still a -1. So not great. Yeah. All right. So that is a 9.
Okay. Cool.
Do you want my other
And
roll first, or
yeah,
before you tell
well,
me?
yeah, just make them both. Make your sanity.
17.
Okay. As Nona runs into the darkness,
Don't like that music.
as you go into the area of magical darkness, suddenly you are just overwhelmed
Oh,
with this fear of not being able to see what's in front of you. And you do, in fact, in your kind of semi-panicked state, you're managing to maintain your composure and not like curl up in a ball. But what you do is, in that momentary kind of like panicked state, you end up tripping over something. You're not sure what it is, but you do fall onto the ground, leaving you prone.
okay. I feel like I do have blind sight up to 10 feet.
Right, but you also have, remember we talked about mechanically, you have disadvantage
Right.
on
So
rolls in the dark.
So I would know what it is, though.
In magic darkness, though?
Yeah,
In
blind
blind sight?
sight does see through magical darkness.
Mm-hmm. Or at least I would know what the shape was.
Yeah. How to describe this without being able to see it? I think it would be, no, I don't think that you would have a frame of reference for what this could be. I think it is so unusual. Maybe
Oh.
you might think that it is like a tripwire or something like that. It doesn't seem large.
Does it feel like a wire strung across the room?
It feels strong, but you know that it's not continuous across the room. So you know that it is existing in this darkness area. Something has restrained your foot, not restrained mechanically, but has arrested your foot.
Oh, okay.
It's almost like something grabbed your foot.
Oh, great. Is it moving?
Yes.
Oh, all right. Well, then there you go. Well, okay, but if it
And
was
you
on the
are-
wall, I would have a frame of reference.
It was not on the wall.
Okay.
It was somewhere you did not expect it to be.
Excellent.
Oh, Nona, you're in the dark and something is wiggling and grabbed your foot. Ah!
Is there anything else within 10 feet of me? I got
You would, with your blind fighting or with your blind sight, you would be able to sense that Lee is there. You would be able to sense that Lee is struggling.
cool. And then I'll say, Lee, I'm here. Come towards me. When you can,
Okay.
you know.
I just like yell out in response if I can, or like
You hear,
like-
you hear a muffled, yeah. You hear Lee's voice muffled, which should set off some alarms. Okay, Edie.
Well, who or how close am I to Lee in that whole situation?
From the darkness, you're about 40-ish feet away. Maybe
That
not
was-
exactly, give or take a few feet.
What is the closest threat to what is the nearest like threat or enemy to me right now?
Yeah, so there was the cloak which began moving across the ground towards you. So it's probably about 10 to 15 feet away from you at this point.
All right.
And then there is the area with the darkness, and there is the there was another one. Oh yeah, the sinewy
The
kind
muscles
of muscles. Yeah.
with eyeballs.
Yes, with eyeballs.
Can't forget that.
Now with eyeballs.
Interestingly enough, the eyeballs are like moving.
Oh.
Ooh, don't. Edie
Ew.
definitely does not like that.
Yeah, you can see like, you know how eyeballs have like the nerve cords attached behind them.
Mm-hmm.
So the nerve cords are like out of the muscle tissue, and they're like wiggling the eyeballs around, looking around.
Like a bad 80s horror movie.
The eyes
Totally
all
like a
there
bad
love
idiot.
Wouldn't say
Yeah.
it was
Gets freaked
bad.
out.
Like
Yeah,
the end
we're
of
Effects are
talking
really
like
good.
Hellraiser
Raiders-
kind of Hellraiser
Raiders
stuff
of the
going on.
Lost Ark.
Yeah.
From a player perspective, that's insanely awesome. Edie does not think as much. Is that within 25 feet of me right now?
Yes.
And how far above Edie are these
Uh,
eyes?
First and foremost, I'm gonna take my bonus action to rage.
Awesome.
So y'all see Edie's just sort of looking around at all this, start very much upset and kind of, it's like a fear-based anger. And between the confusion and the like kind of WTFness going on and the sort of perversion of a person, Edie just sort of, her eyes just narrow, and she laser focuses on that target with the eyes, and will run up to it. And I'm gonna take my my warhammer and smack it. Definitely smack it.
Okay.
Been a while since I played anything other than like a magic.
Hit the crap out of it. It seems to work.
All right. Oh shit. Hang on. I'm assuming that's a natural 20 if it lands with a B like right on top.
Natural 20.
Okay.
All right. I would like you to roll a percentile for me.
Woo!
Cool.
Very angry halfling.
Very angry halfling that
So
will
a
radiant
D100.
damage to this thing as well.
Yep.
12.
12. Okay. Not super relevant. So it is a normal critical hit. So go ahead and roll your double dice.
Cool.
Under normal circumstances, this would be a disarm, but since it's not holding any weapons, it is not.
Can
Yeah.
she disarm its eyes?
Yeah.
I don't want to see them wiggling around anymore.
It's +2 melee damage to strength weapons while raging, as well as a 1d6 +1 of radiant damage.
Oh, awesome. Yep, and this is an undead creature. So
Ooh, perfect. So that's all right. I rolled a 1d8 +2. So far, 3 plus the 2 from strength at 5, and then 5 radiant damage.
okay, so how much bashing?
Bashing and smashing was rolled very low on that. Let me go back to the. Sorry, there's again. Forgot this class. All right. The actual warhammer itself did 3 because I just rolled the 1d8 +2 and it got a 1.
Mm-hmm. And then
And
plus
then
2 for your rage.
plus
So-
2 for rage, so that's
so
5.
5. Okay, so that's
bludgeoning
5
damage.
bashing and then 5 radiant.
Yes.
Okay. So as your Warhammer impacts with it, it doesn't like, this is a kind of squishy creature. It's not super rigid. So like a skeleton where the Warhammer kind of like shattered it. Instead, this one, the malleability of it seems to absorb the blow somewhat, and it doesn't quite do as much damage as you think it should.
There.
But the radiant damage definitely kind of like burns at the flesh a little bit, and it starts to turn black at that spot.
Would it be all right to say that the tattoo she has of Celagon on her arm kind of faintly glows with that radiant energy?
Absolutely. Yeah, I love it. I love it. Cool.
So is the crit that you get to roll, is that from the radiant damage, or do you roll another die?
So the radiant damage is because I picked Path of the Zealot Barbarian.
Oh, right. So because
Religious based.
you rolled a critical damage, you get to roll double of all of your dice.
Sweet. Cool,
So
cool, cool,
if
cool,
your
cool.
damage is 1d8 plus
Another D8 and another D6 then.
correct, yeah.
All right.
Woo!
So D6. And where's D8? There's 8.
I think you only add the strength modifier once. Is that right?
That's correct.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
So 1 more of bludgeoning and 3 more of radiant.
Okay. Cool. Yeah, you run in there and smack it pretty solidly. The hammer itself doesn't seem to do as much damage as you would expect, but that radiant flash of your tattoo of Celagon flashing brightly, and that some of that energy coursing through your arms into your warhammer as you strike it, sear the hammer shape of your warhead into the desiccated flesh of this creature. And then we have Lee.
Holy shit, Edie's scary.
Why do I hear banjos in the music?
There is a hurdy-gurdy in the music.
What is
Ding,
that?
ding,
It's like a
ding.
big to me.
I do love myself a hurdy-gurdy. I'm not complaining, by the way. It just makes it more terrifying, honestly.
In a different way.
Yeah.
In that you sure got a pretty mouth kind of way.
Oh, Jesus.
All right, what are you doing, Lee?
I'm going to attempt to break out of this grapple properly this time with a athletics check. And I again roll 11. Yay!
All right, with an 11, that is not good enough to break free. So you are still restrained.
No.
Okay. Quinn, I think, is going to rush forward and try to stab at the rug with her dagger, attempting to
Nice.
like take some slices out of it. And she rolls pretty well. Okay, so Quinn runs up and takes a slash at the cloak, and the stitched organs are going to take their action, and they are, I believe, attacking Edie as she is the closest one to it, and it is going to attack with its paralyzing tentacle.
Did I hold up the shield as a reaction to it?
Wouldn't that be nice?
Oh my God.
So the eyeballs attached to these long cords, one of them lashes out, and these tiny little claws extend out from the sides of the eyes as it like impacts the side of your face, and it tries to latch on. But fortunately for you, I rolled a natural 1. And so as the eye kind of like jumps out of this mass of muscle and sinew towards you with its claws, you do reflexively put your shield up and you like knock it out of the way, and it kind of flips the eyeball back around the head of this creature.
Flips the
Hashtag-
eyeball back around.
It's like a
And then-
Geiger lamprey, that eyeball.
And in the darkness somewhere is another creature which had a hold of Nona's leg.
Mm-hmm.
And you feel this same motion near the area of your legs. And since you're prone, it gets advantage on its attack.
Mm.
And what you feel is kind of like small legs attached to a longer body crawl up your leg and bite you hard on the thigh.
I do have a 19 AC.
You do, and I rolled a 24.
Just making sure you remembered.
Yeah, I didn't ask you your AC because I rolled so high.
Yeah, you did a good job.
So I need you to make a Constitution saving throw.
Is it against poison?
No.
Okay.
It is against paralyzation.
That means I do it at disadvantage
Yes.
because I'm in the dark. That's 2 14s, so 15.
2 14s. 14.
So 15.
14 is what you needed.
Oh,
So you managed to shrug off the venom of this creature that you can't really identify what it is. You do feel like lots of little, very sharp legs kind of digging into your flesh as it's crawling up your leg.
giant centipede, giant centipede, giant centipede.
All right, top of the round, Sudi. I hope Nona's not afraid of bugs.
She's not. Not any more than anyone else.
She takes another swing at this thing, swinging herself around to hit it from another angle.
Okay. And remind me which one Sudi's attacking?
The one with the muscle. The
Gotcha.
one that Edie just hit.
Yep, gotcha.
Ah, same thing, a 9.
Yeah. So it's like expecting Sudi's attacks. Okay, it got knocked in the eye with a shield, and it immediately glances over because it's like, oh, I'm gonna get hit from this side. It looks over and it kind of like ducks back beneath Edie's shield, and so your weapon comes in and glances off of Edie's shield. Wid.
Okay, Bear is going to bite at the skeleton again.
The skeleton is toast.
Oh, well then she's gonna eat the toast. No.
Yum.
So I think the sinewy one with the eyeballs is the next closest.
Yes, I believe it is.
Okay, and that one's not toast yet, right?
It is not.
Okay. Then first attack will be a bite.
Ooh, yummy.
And that's a 9 to
Jerky.
hit.
A 9 to hit. As you close your bare maw around it, its kind of sinewy texture is much tougher than you're expecting, and you didn't really get a good grip, so your teeth don't quite pierce the sinewy flesh.
Okay, Bear's gonna try to slash at it. And that's gonna be 15 to hit.
15 on the other hand, so once again your bite doesn't quite do it, but then you swipe in response, which does connect squarely.
Okay. It's going to be 13 slashing damage.
Woo. All right. Yeah, your claws kind of rend through the softer flesh, carving a nice deep groove and separating some of these tendons. It's still kicking, however.
Can I have focused my damage on its face area? Like the eyeballs?
Yeah, sure.
I'm okay if you want to, yeah, or if we need to lower damage a little bit because it's
Yeah, we'll
isolated.
say it swiped it across the face. Probably didn't sever the eyeballs if that's your intention.
Was she trying to bite its eyes off?
The bite wasn't effective, but
Yeah,
she's trying
So-
to claw its eyeballs out.
yeah. So the in fifth edition, there's no such thing as like called shots.
Right,
Yeah, so we can do it in
Nice.
terms of flavor,
right.
but mechanically it won't really make any difference.
That works.
Okay, cool. Nona,
All right.
how you doing there?
Fine. Thank you. Okay. So I think the way I want this to go is I'm gonna roll another sanity check for each round.
Okay, yeah, absolutely. I'm into it.
So, all right, that's a 17 and a 13, so that's 15.
Okay. I think a
Okay.
15 is good enough
I think
to
a
maintain
15
your
is good
composure.
enough.
Mhm.
And that was at disadvantage. Okay, so then she's gonna just kind of grit through whatever the fuck is on her leg, and she's gonna reach towards Lee and try and drag her out of the darkness.
Okay. I need you to make a strength athletics check. Essentially, you are grappling the thing that is grappling Lee.
Yeah. What does that feel like, by the way?
It feels like a leathery object has encased Lee.
Great. All right, so that is this athletics?
Yes, this is strength athletics.
Strength athletics. All right. So that is a 12.
Okay. Let me double check my critter here. I have.
Your critter?
Okay. You got a 12, you said?
I did.
Okay, I got a 9. So you do manage to grab this thing and move it. Well, you were prone, so you had to stand up. So that's half of your movement.
Mhm.
So that's going to put you at about 10 feet. So carrying something.
Well,
Okay, 12 feet. Rounding to the nearest 5, which is 10.
okay.
So carrying something against its will, so grabbing it and dragging it, also halves your movement. So that's going to move you down to 5 feet. So you grab a hold of this thing that has a hold of Lee and drag it 5 feet in what direction?
I think the way I came.
Okay, back the way you came.
Do I have to stand up?
Effectively, no. But if you're crawling, your movement is halved anyway.
Oh, that's fair. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So Lee, you feel additional pressure. Maybe it's squeezing you harder, maybe it's not. In fact, it is going to squeeze you harder. And even at advantage, I rolled a 7 plus 6. So a 13, which I don't think will hit you. Is that correct?
My AC is actually 12. So
Okay, so it does. Cool. So you take 6 points of bludgeoning damage.
Okay, I have a question about that.
Yeah.
So is it me who just gave her the bludgeoning damage?
No, it is the creature.
Okay. So
Yeah.
then second question. Can I channel divinity rebuke the violent on it?
Is that a reaction?
It is a reaction.
Okay, tell me what that does exactly.
All right, so immediately after an attacker within 30 feet deals damage, so I can force the attacker to make a wisdom saving throw, and on a failure, the attacker takes radiant damage equal to the damage just dealt.
Awesome. It still deals the damage though, right?
I think so.
Okay, cool. I will make a wisdom saving throw. I rolled a 1. So,
Ah,
so it takes how much damage? 6, right?
6 radiant damage.
Okay. That was awesome. Yeah. Unfortunately, none of you see any light because you're in magical darkness.
Yeah,
Okay.
but there's stuff
Yeah.
going on, guys.
Mavly.
Nona said get the ring. Do I see a ring?
You do see the ring.
I will grab the ring.
Okay, you grab the ring.
She disappears.
No, I'm not going to put it on because I'm a little concerned.
Yeah, don't put it on.
Everything else is kind of magical,
Just
but
swallow it.
I will put it in my right. It'll be
Like a
fine.
fish.
It's fine. Put it in my pockets. And if I look around, I see Wid and Edie and Sudi beating on an ice stalk creature-ish thing, weird fleshy mass.
Correct. With
then I
like
see-
with tentacles, you see Quinn is trying to stab at what looks like an animated cloak.
And
then
I also
then you
see darkness.
Yeah,
Oh, I'm
and
gonna
then
go
you
help
see
my itty bitty
darkness.
buddy.
Yeah, and you can hear like struggling in the darkness.
Oh, Nona went in there, and Nona is well capable of handling herself as far as I am concerned. The darkness is covered. That's the Mavly knows that Nona's got it. No, that darkness doesn't stand a chance. Nona's in there any minute. But Quinn might need a little help. So can I make it to Quinn? Yes.
Yes, you can make it to Quinn.
I will make it to Quinn, and I am really confused, and we'll just try to stab the dagger down into the cloak because it's a cloak. It's weird. I don't know how to
Okay.
hit a cloak.
Yeah. Cool. Go ahead and give me some rolls.
17.
17 will hit.
That's exciting. And all of 4 damage.
Hey,
Hey.
4 damage.
4 damage.
1, 2, 3, 4.
You got it.
Yeah. So that's it. Good job.
You hit a cloak with a hammer.
It is a good job.
I'm saving that. No, I mean, I wouldn't think to hit the cloak with the hammer. I don't think, honestly. I got it. I've definitely got it.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Quinn will also attack said. Oh, she rolls a nat 20.
God.
Woo!
Tiny but fierce. I love her
Tiny
so
but
much.
Tiny but fierce. And
I love that trope.
rogues with critical hits.
Yay. And with
And
friends,
she
really
rolls
close.
a 70 for her critical hit table.
That's
I
so
hope it is
good.
Piercing agony. Whenever the target makes an attack or casts a spell, it takes 1d4 magical piercing damage. This effect
Woo!
lasts for 1 minute or until the creature receives magical healing.
Wow, so stabby.
Nice.
So she's going to deal a whole bunch of damage. Oh, wow. Okay.
Math.
Wow. I rolled max damage. I rolled 4 6s in a row.
Oh my god.
Okay. So, and then it takes additional 1d4 from the crit. Okay. So what this looks like, Quinn rushes forward at this animated cloak, and she just starts thrashing at it. And her knife is just perfectly angled in such a way that it cuts like across the grain, and the thing starts to come unfrayed, or starts to fray and come unfurled. She did a lot of damage to that thing.
But it's still moving?
Yeah, it's still moving. It definitely looks like it's having some trouble, because she ripped it to shreds.
The opposite of pinking shears.
Yeah. If Quinn was like a seamstress, this would be a botch job. Okay.
Nice.
We have Edie.
Cool. So the beast with the eyeballs is still standing.
It is.
Right.
With its eyeballs.
I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna whack it again with the warhammer.
All right, smack it again with a warhammer. You did notice that your warhammer was not quite as effective as it should have been.
It's gonna be even less effective. That was a natural 1.
Awesome.
For a 5 total.
Yeah, so I think Edie was probably a little thrown off guard by having her shield impacted by Sudi's polearm. So kind of like, what the crap are you doing kind of thing, and like stepping out of the way. And
I
so
think it was hit by the
off.
bottom because she forgot the little cousin was there.
All right, nat 1. Wow, that sucks. All right, Lee.
Go for a attempted grapple escape again.
Okay. Just a side note for Edie, don't forget that you do have reckless attacks as an option.
True.
Which gives you
I
advantage.
also do have lucky because of halfling.
You
I don't know how you're ruling that.
Yeah, so don't forget that.
Right.
All right, Nancy, what do we got?
Roll the 20 this time.
Oh, nat 20. All right.
Sweet.
Not a nat
So-
20 modifier, but
Oh, okay, a modified 20. Cool. That is significantly higher than what I rolled. And so you are no longer restrained. Unfortunately, that does take your action, but if you have a bonus action, you can still use that.
I don't
And
believe
she has movement too, right?
you, but
She
yeah.
does have movement.
Would that open me to reaction though? Or would that not count since I just broke out of a grapple?
So breaking out of a grapple is your action.
But if I moved away, would that prompt-
Provoke an attack of opportunity because she's
Yes, it would.
leaving.
Yes.
Okay. Then I'm not gonna do that. I don't have bonus action that I'm aware of, so.
So if you attack as an action, which breaking out a grapple counts as an attack, you can, with your offhand, make an attack. If you have an offhand weapon, I don't know if you do or not.
I would be holding my great club and offhand weapon. I've got my daggers, if that's what you mean, but they're not currently wielded, so.
You could theoretically grab your dagger and try to stab with that, but it's up to you.
Just don't roll a 1 and stab me.
Might as well.
Yeah, don't roll a 1.
I will attempt. Okay. Go for that. And I rolled a 10 to hit.
Okay. A 10 is unfortunately not good enough to hit.
Do I still need to roll for damage or just pass?
Nope, because you missed, you wouldn't roll for damage. So I think in your surprise that you managed to get away from this, you just kind of wildly swung at it, and didn't manage to hit anything. However, the stitched organs are going to attack. I think they're going to attack Edie because, well, let's just let's just say that Sudi's attacks may not have been terribly effective. So it is going to attack Edie again, attempting to paralyze by sending out one of its eyes with the talons on it towards her face. And that is a 12 to hit.
Nope.
Misses. Okay. Once again, you manage to put your shield in the way of that projectile eye as it lunges towards you. And the carpet, or the cloak, is going to attempt to smother our small little gnome.
No.
Okay, and it rolls. +5 to hit. That's a 17, so that will hit. Okay, cool. So this cloak, although badly damaged, wraps itself around Quinn, who is then bound and restrained. Okay, and then back to the top of the round, we have, oh, sorry, I forgot the other thing in the darkness.
Oh, yeah, no, you don't have to apologize for that at all.
You hear, and with your blind sight, I think you would see the long figure with these long sharp legs coming out of it. We'll call it a tendon centipede creature.
Ooh, fancy.
Which then attempts to go for your thigh again. As you're dragging Lee away, it's going to once again kind of coil itself up your leg, and you feel the tiny legs piercing into your flesh as it tries to bite you again. That is I still get disadvantage. Okay, so that is a 19 plus 6, so that's a 25.
Plus 6.
Yep.
Jesus Christ. 19.
Please roll. I rolled a natural 19. Please roll a Constitution saving throw.
Okay, I got a 16 and an 11, so that's an 11.
Okay, an 11.
Plus what's my cons? It's a con save?
It is a con save.
Plus 1, so 12.
You are proficient. Okay, an 11 plus 1 is 12. 12 is the minimum DC you needed to meet. So you barely saved. You feel, as this thing bites you, its mandibles piercing into your flesh. By the way, you are going to be taking 12 points of damage.
Oh, damn. Okay.
Yeah, 12 points of damage. And you feel your muscles begin to lock, but then your dwarven fortitude just kind of forces it out, and you force that muscle to start working again. And you manage to resist the effects of paralyze. Okay, so back up to the top of the round for the third round. Sudi.
I'm gonna try to swing at that thing again.
All right, trying to swing at it again.
And she's getting more and more frustrated.
Are you attacking recklessly, or?
She's not going into rage.
Okay. Well,
For
you don't have to be
reasons.
enraged to attack recklessly.
What would that entail?
So when you attack recklessly, basically you are giving yourself advantage in exchange for anybody attacking you will have advantage to hit you.
She'll do that then.
Okay. And barbarians can do this every turn.
Okay. So I roll twice?
Yep. You roll twice and take the highest of the two.
That's a 13 and that's a 16.
Okay, that will hit.
Okay.
And you were attacking the stitched organs?
Yeah, the one with the muscles, and I got 8.
Okay. 8. And this is slashing damage. Yeah, okay, great, great. Cool. And this is with your, I believe
Naginata.
it's Naginata. Great. So it's this big pole weapon, and you come in and
With a blade on the end.
yeah, slice at it. Awesome. Weird. Let's get some.
All right, bite,
some
bite.
bear action here. The bare necessities of combat.
Ouch. That one.
Nat 1. Oof. I assume you're attacking the
Attacking the face
stitched
with my
organ?
mouth.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. So to add a little insult to
Romance.
injury, I think since you said you were trying to bite the face, I think with a nat 1, you like are trying to get your mouth over this face, and like one of the eyeballs kind of like gets lodged in the back of your throat, and you choke on it a little bit.
Ooh.
Which makes the slashing to get it away appropriate for my next attack.
The bear is a terrible kisser.
All right, 10 to hit. I don't know if that'll hit.
A 10 will not hit, unfortunately. You were too busy gagging on this eyeball going partially down your throat that you're just like, oh, get it out.
I mean, relatable content, really.
Bears.
We have a gagging bear. All right, Nona.
I forgot I was next. Okay, so how far away am I from the edge of the darkness, would you
You
say?
cannot see the edge of the darkness.
Okay, but I would have known how far I traveled into the darkness, right?
Yep, you traveled in about 15 feet.
Since I'm already dragging Lee and the thing,
You are actually no longer dragging Lee. She seems to have broken out of your grip and the other thing's grip. You no longer have a hold of Lee.
oh, great, that's good. Lee, go this way.
You hear a disembodied voice saying, go this way, which you have really no relative direction which it's coming from. Except that it's like that way.
Yeah, Lee, come towards me. Actually, can I see her? Is she within 10 feet of me?
You are aware of where she is, yeah.
Okay. Do I know which way she's facing?
I think that's probably stretching the blind sight.
You think so?
Yeah, yeah.
Mind if I
think
look
so.
at the senses for blind sight real quick?
Unless she's like part fish and has a fin on one end.
Yeah.
Okay. Sure. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, no, I need to get this thing off me. Okay, so what I want to do is drop whatever I'm holding,
Mm-hmm.
grab
shield-
grab
shield and
the
your hammer?
tendon monster centipede and pull it off of me.
Okay. Yeah.
Can I throw it in the same
Who are you
Sure.
throwing it at?
Yeah, I'll allow that. Yeah,
I'm gonna throw it out of the darkness towards all of you so you can kill it.
Okay. Cool.
Athletics.
Yep. Strength athletics.
That
And it is
disadvantage.
going to
Oh.
attempt to not get thrown.
First, I'm gonna roll my sanity.
Cool. I rolled a natural 19.
Oh, great. Okay, so that is I rolled a 12 and a 16, so that would be a 14. So I think that's still all right.
Yep, I think you're okay.
I've been very lucky. And for strength, I rolled a natural 19 and a 15,
Okay,
but
so
I
what's
get the
your
15.
bonus?
I think it's just +1.
Okay. Yeah,
No, it's
so
+2. So
yeah. So
17.
Nona kind of reaches down to her leg and tries to tug this thing off. And now that you're holding it, you get a better sense of like how big this thing actually is. And it's quite long, and it's probably about like yay thick with these long
Oh,
thin
wow.
thin dagger like legs. And it's kind of like wrapped around your leg like 3 times. So as you like try to pull on it, it's like just cinching tighter, digging its needle-like legs into your thigh.
Hmm.
So that's your action.
That is my action. And that. All right, well, it's not coming off. So I'm going to go and I'm going to say that Lee is like maybe 5 feet away from me.
Yeah, I think that's reasonable.
So I'll walk 5 feet to her. I'll put my hand on her shoulder and we can run out together. Another 10 to 15 feet. So that's still within my
Yeah, okay. So are you waiting for her to move? Is that what you're doing?
Well, I don't have a choice. I can't drag her out because that would be another action. So
Right.
I'm trying to lead her out, like, let's go, it's Nona. And then we can leave together. So if I have to wait, I will.
Okay. Okay, cool.
It
Let's
can just be like a held action, I guess. Or
do
held
the cloak then. So held actions have to be like actions. So basically you're just sacrificing your movement this turn is what you're doing.
I can't use the movement. Oh, okay, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, can't move outside your turn unless you use your action to dash. Okay, so it is the Dark Mantle's turn, is going to attempt to grab Lee again since she escaped from its clutches. And that is a natural 1. Lee, what does it look like when you deflect this thing? How do you keep from getting smothered again?
Man, at a 1, I would just naturally be dodging that.
Okay,
He's
cool.
pretty
Yeah.
So,
You like hear the fluttering and you're like, oh shit.
moves out of the way.
Yeah. Okay, great.
Response.
Awesome. Next we have Mavly.
A cloak has my little bitty buddy. Shit. Is any part of it like on the ground or not completely wrapped around Quinn?
Yeah, I'd say there's like bits of it that are maybe dangling, specifically parts of it that Quinn maybe shredded or kind of dangling.
If I try to hit just that with my hammer, is it harder?
No. What I will say though is if you critically fail, you will hit Quinn.
Yeah, I figured. Okay, we're just gonna try to smack that, but not smack Quinn. That's the goal.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Somebody cue that song, Smack That.
Right. Oh, that's not bad. 23.
23, that's really good. Go ahead and roll
And
me
10
some
damage.
10 damage. Mavly is on a roll tonight. What does
Yeah,
it
I'm
look
channeling
like?
my inner Nona.
What does it look like when Mavly destroys this smothering cloak that is
Well, it
wrapped
wraps
around
around.
Quinn?
It wraps around Quinn, and she goes, "Hell no, tiny but fierce!" And she just smacks it with the hammer right onto the ground, and like once the hammer connects with the ground, she like leans in on it and goes, I don't know how to kill a cloak. I'm so confused."
Yeah,
And she kind of
as
grinds
you
it
hit
in.
you smack it on the ground, and it seems like that little bit of impact seems to have dissipated whatever necrotic energy was animating this thing, and it kind of goes limp and kind of lazily drapes off of Quinn's tiny form.
Is Quinn okay?
She looks a little bruised. She took some damage from that.
Oh, that's so bad. Okay. Well, I will just kind of move closer to my little bitty buddy and look around, and I don't think anything else I can get to or do anything. So I'm just gonna stand next to Quinn and go, "This is fucking weird."
All right. Edie.
Right. If this thing is still up, Edie's getting more and more frustrated at, especially at totally with the last turn with this beast. So
Mhm.
she'll just sort of her eyes narrow a little more, she sort of snarls a little bit more and takes that warhammer and just gives it her all and slams into this thing.
Okay.
Getting
Reckless.
fed up with its nonsense.
Attacking recklessly or no?
Yeah, I'll attack recklessly on this one.
Okay. All right. Roll with advantage.
That is a 16 and a natural 20.
Natural 20. All right.
Plus
Give me
4,
that.
so 24.
Give me that percentile roll again.
I have no idea what the percentile roll is for, and I'm honestly terrified.
I'll tell you.
35.
35. Higher is better. Okay. 35. Break morale. Hostile creatures that can see the target must succeed on a wisdom save or be frightened of you for the next minute.
That's right. The tiny people are scary.
Yeah. So you just like charge in with such ferocity and critically hit it. So go ahead and roll damage. But the creature, when you hit it, is like shocked and possibly
Its eyes bug out of its head.
yeah.
I have no idea what the DC for that would be, though.
It's not terribly high. What is your attack modifier?
It's a +4, so it's a
Plus
total of
4. Okay, so 8 plus 4, so DC 12. I rolled a 10. So yes, it is indeed frightened of you.
Woohoo. Let me get that D6 and that other D. Yay,
That
math.
is it is frightened of you, not of your companions.
That's fine. I'll sort of snarl at it. And let's see. The warhammer itself is
So it'll be 2d8 for the warhammer, and
yeah.
then 2d6.
So the warhammer is a 5. I'm trying to see the 5 plus 4. So that's 9 and plus 2. Wait, I think it already adds actually.
So 11 points for the warhammer. And
All right.
and what's the radiant?
The radiant is 5 plus 5, total of 10.
10. Oh man. Solid hit from Edie as she like
So many dice to keep track of. I'm sorry.
yeah, as Edie charges in and slams her warhammer down, connecting solidly, her tattoo of Celagon burning brightly as that energy again channels down through her arms into her hammer as it strikes, leaving this large seared burn mark in the stitched flesh of this creature. Awesome. Very cool. Quinn is going to, a little bit disoriented, look around, realize that she's no longer being smothered by this creature, and is going to immediately lunge at the creature that Edie just pummeled and attempt to stab it, and rolled fairly well. And sticks her dagger deep into the upper thigh of this creature, as it doesn't have a bone. There's no, like, you know, grinding sound as the blade skips across the bone, but rather it just sinks into the flesh, and does a significant amount of damage. However, not quite killing it.
What is it with you and going after the bad thing so quickly? Gah!
Lee.
So question for you. Can I use my action to pick up Chrissy's character?
I'm sorry, to do what?
To pick up Chrissy's character.
Yes, you can.
Okay, because I'm not seeing an official rule on that. Also, would you resist me if I were to grab you and say, let's go, and try to
Nope.
pick you up?
But you might feel something weird on my leg.
Well, I would, man, I guess attempted. I guess I wouldn't know that there's something on her leg at this moment. So
Not until
Right.
you pick me up.
You would not know. Yeah.
yeah, so I guess I would go to attempt to pick her up as my action. Is there a way you want me to go about that, Lizzie?
Nope, she is not resisting, so you can use your action to effectively grapple her and carry her half your movement.
So my movement is 30, so that'd be 15. Does that take us out of the darkness?
That will take you out of the darkness. It does, however, leave you vulnerable for an attack of opportunity from the Dark Mantle. And it rolls a natural 19. So I'm pretty sure that's going to hit you. You take 12 points of piercing damage as this thing, as you start moving away from it, you expose your back to it, right? And it lunges towards you, digging what feels like long fangs deep into the back of your neck where your shoulders connect in that fleshy part. What is that called? Your traps?
Your traps.
Yeah, and it digs these fangs, and it feels like it's kind of latched onto you, like it's moving with you.
Okay, so is it actually, since we're in the light?
Well, so what happens is, since this thing is attached to you, the area of darkness moves with it.
No.
Yeah, Lee is just pulling in the great moves today.
Travis is right.
But
Travis
it was
is right.
It was a valiant effort.
Well, so all right. Well, I guess my turn is done. So there's
Okay.
that.
So the stitched organs are barely holding together, like little strips of sinew animated by these necrotic energies. I think are going to lash out once more against Edie, as she has done very much the large lion's share of damage against this creature. And it is once again sending out these grotesque eyes to try to latch onto you and paralyze you.
Covered in bear saliva now.
And that is a natural 2. So once again, this thing is pretty inept. It's like I roll really low or really high. There's no in between.
It's the bear saliva. The bear saliva made it so it couldn't see.
Yeah. Yeah, so it misses you. The one on Nona's leg is going to attempt to bite her again, sinking its teeth in. That is a 9 + 6, puts it at a 15, which I don't think will
Does
penetrate
not.
your armor.
Nope.
Okay. top of the round, Sudi, round 4.
Hey, she's gonna recklessly destroy this thing. The 18.
18 to hit. All right, you swing your Naginata down.
For 12 damage.
12 slashing damage, right?
Yes.
Okay. Would you please describe to us what it looks like when you just completely slice this thing
She
into
swings
ribbons?
down at its head, splitting it in two with the eyeballs separating.
Nice. Yeah, with no skull to hold it together, the blade of this long pole weapon slices through the head, and each half of it kind of sloughing to the side.
Then Sudi
And
spins around to face whatever's behind her.
excellent. All right, Wid.
All right. So what's
see
left
the-
is in the darkness.
You see the darkness moving towards you.
Okay. I will approach it and use my nose to try to suss out an enemy.
Okay. Okay. Give me a perception check. I believe this is at advantage.
It is. $19.
All right. You are able to identify that there are at least 4 different distinct scents in the darkness. And you can kind of get a general vicinity, but they're all pretty close to one another.
Okay. I mean, I imagine I recognize 2 of the scents as people I know.
Yes, you do recognize 2 of those scents as Nona and Lee. You also smell blood and something else pungent, which could be some sort of a toxin.
And well, I will approach, I guess, where I have the sense coming from,
Okay.
to see
Yes.
if there's any way that I can get a good attack. Or
Yeah. So as soon as you step into the darkness, you lose all visibility.
Okay.
Dark vision does not work unless you have some sort of blind sight or magical vision like devil sight, which I don't think you do.
no, that's why I'm using my nose.
Yep. So attacks made while in magical darkness are considered at disadvantage.
Can I determine an enemy that's close, that's accessible to me to attack?
Yeah, you would smell, I think you would smell one of them has a very pungent with the toxic kind of smell, is closer near the ground and is coming from the same location as Nona's. And there is kind of a more like musty smell that is coming from behind Lee.
So I imagine the pungent one is stronger.
It does seem that way, yeah.
So I will get closer to that, and I'll get my nose right up to it if I can, and then try to bite it if it seems like it's the enemy.
Okay. Yeah, so attacks in complete darkness will be unfortunately a disadvantage. You have a general idea because of your nose, but as you can't actually see it, you are at disadvantage.
And I can't see those. Oh, 8.
Okay. 8 is going to miss, unfortunately.
Okay, then I will also try to swipe at it with my claws.
Okay. For the record, for those of you wondering in chat, the armor itself did not animate. Something was in the armor that animated.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm not really following chat, but I saw something about the mithril, so I wanted to clear that up.
That's 19 to hit.
Okay, yeah, that will definitely hit.
Thanks. Bear.
11 points of damage.
11 points of damage. And you said this was against the
Pungent odor.
pungent odor. Okay. Okay, which has not been hit yet.
It's true.
Okay. Awesome. You definitely feel it connect. You definitely feel chitin and sinew and what feels like dried, hardened tendons kind of pop and tear. But it is definitely still moving.
Yeah. What was that? What do I see?
Yeah, you would see the bear come into the darkness and bite towards your leg
Ah,
and connect with the creature that is on it. And you would definitely feel the force of this bear like tugging at.
and I'm
this
also being
creature.
carried, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh no,
Oh,
it's an
wait,
out
okay.
of control situation. Ow.
Yeah, I think Lee would also feel like some resistance as she's carrying Nona. You'd feel like something is pulling Nona back. And of course, you would probably hear the bear there.
Yeah, okay. I'm gonna
In everything complicated.
Lee, this Wid's trying to. I got something on my leg. I don't know if you. It's real. It's gross. It's like a bug. And Wid, be careful.
Oh my
Grunt,
God, you sound
bear
like
grunt.
babbling. I'm babbling. I'm Nona. I'm out of control. I don't even know how to handle my
I'm
life
in
right
the
now.
dark.
All right, so it is Nona's turn.
All right. Let's see if this is. I feel like this might be it.
What are you trying to do?
This is my sanity save,
Okay.
and I got a 6.
All right. This, I've been waiting for this. Okay.
Uh-oh.
So as this thing is latched onto your leg and you're being held and carried, you
Yeah.
feel powerless, and you
Yeah.
feel this bear is also tugging at your leg. You just
Mhm.
want to get out of this fucking darkness, right?
Yeah.
And you, in your mind, you should be out of the darkness because you've moved.
We moved.
You can't get out of the darkness. And so your mind is like, I'm trapped in this darkness.
Mm-hmm.
And you begin, your mind begins to shut down.
Mm-hmm.
And Nona begins to like curl up in a ball and start crying as she begins to panic.
I'm panicking.
Yeah, so Nona is currently panicking. And those of you nearby, so Lee and Wid, can definitely hear Nona is having a breakdown. And she is very clearly panicking.
So what are the mechanics on that, Z? Does that mean my turn is gone?
Yes, I'm gonna say that you are gonna be stunned
All right.
for 1d4 minutes, which I rolled a 1.
That's
So-
still
So you are
10
stunned
rounds.
for a minute. Yeah.
All right. You guys got this. I believe in you.
Okay. The darkness creature is, since Lee is holding Nona, I think it's going to attempt to envelop both of them simultaneously.
Great. Yes. course it is. Of course it is.
Lee, as you're the functional adult here, I would like you to make a strength athletics or a dex acrobatics to resist getting restrained by this creature.
Okay, make a strength athletics roll, which came out to 16.
16, that's very good because I rolled an 11.
Good.
So you managed to resist this thing wrapping around you. It is now Mavly's turn.
What do I see, Z? So I've got the dead cloak. We've got the split in half creature, and then we've got the darkness that I saw the bear just charge into.
Yep.
You're probably also hearing Nona freak out.
Yep, you can definitely hear Nona panicking. She's like, I have to get out of here. I have to get out of here. Or whatever it sounds like. That's definitely
how-
up to
How far
Chrissy.
is that from me?
I would say because they moved towards you, I think the edge of the darkness is very close to you now.
Okay. I'm just gonna run. I'm just gonna run straight in it. I'm just gonna run in it. I'm gonna run right in the darkness. I'm gonna follow the bear.
Darkness
what happens.
party.
Darkness party.
I didn't ask for you to do this.
I'm well aware, but it should be fine. Quinn, we gotta go in there now because I don't know what else to do. Apparently, the darkness is eating Nona. I gotta go. In we
Okay.
go, because all of my spells require touch. So
Yeah, okay. So you Mavly charges into the darkness immediately. Complete blackness.
If I could
he
speak,
stops immediately. I've made a mistake.
I'd be yelling, "It's on my back! It's on my back!" At the same time. If I mean, 6 seconds it should be, I assume.
Yeah. Absolutely.
So she's gonna try to walk towards Lee and Nona's voice.
Okay. Yeah, I think doing grabby hands moving forward, you would eventually probably come into contact at some point with Lee, who is
Okay.
holding a near catatonic Nona.
What's going on? Okay, I'm gonna kind of rub my hands around and try to feel what I can feel. Do I get to the
It's on
point where
my
I feel
leg.
a
It's on my
nasty
leg.
ding on her leg?
on
Can I
my
get to
back.
that?
Yeah, if you want to
Growl.
feel around and see if you can like
Yeah.
kind of grabby yeah. Let's call this a touch attack. Are you going to attempt to add a spell to this?
Not as yet, because I don't know exactly what's going on. But if it would definitely be if I find the creature that is on her leg, I would definitely try to pull it off.
Yeah, okay. So I think mechanically we're going to call this a touch attack. So make a physical attack at disadvantage because it's in the dark.
Well, I rolled a 1.
Okay. Yeah. So no, you are not grappled, Nancy.
Okay.
So with a 1, I think you like reach out trying to grab, and so as you're grabbing around, you like poke Lee in the face a few times, and you like pull Nona's hair.
He's like,
and
down, no, stop it.
Yeah, there's some like weird, maybe inappropriate groping. I don't know.
That's a boob.
As you're
Sorry,
trying to figure
sorry.
out what's going on in the dark.
Oh
Yeah.
my god.
Okay.
Yeah, but you can't really discern anything. It seems like because it's so dark and you just have no frame
I have
of
no
reference.
idea. Okay. Where the
Yeah.
hell is Nona? That's all I got to get my hands on Nona. That's my goal.
Yeah. Okay. Edie.
Right. What is still standing? Because I wanted to go run in and save Nona, but
Yep. You
Edie
don't
doesn't
know.
see that situation.
Yep. You don't know. All
Okay.
that you can see now is the darkness, and the only people still outside of the darkness are you and Sudi.
And there's no enemies or anything outside of the darkness.
Nope.
All right. Edie would know at least that her friends went into the darkness, right?
I'm sorry.
Edie would at least know that her friends are somewhere in that darkness.
Yes.
Okay.
Probably.
You can probably hear us, right?
Yeah. You can hear struggling. You can hear Nona panicking. Yeah.
All right. I'm gonna make my way in there. can I get anywhere near them with my 25-foot speed?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
All right. I'll sort of try to follow in and follow the sounds of struggle.
Chaos.
Mhm. Okay, yeah, I will say that it's very easy to find the sounds of the struggle. It's a 15-foot radius darkness, and the struggle is centered at the center of that.
All right. As soon as I can get in, I'll just go. I can't see y'all. Where do y'all want me to hit? I'll sort of hold I'll hold a Warhammer attack for until somebody can point out an enemy to me or give me some sort of direction of what's going on.
Okay, so you're gonna hold an action for somebody to help you, basically.
I'll hold an action for somebody to at least give me some direction of where to hit.
Okay, great. Yeah, so mechanically, I think that would show itself in the form of a help action. So if somebody uses their turn to give the help action, then you would then get mechanically that would give you advantage on the roll, but because you have disadvantage, it would then turn it into a normal roll.
That's fine.
Okay. Okay. Next we have Quinn, who was actually still outside of the darkness. And what would Quinn do? I think Quinn is going to shout words of encouragement into the darkness.
Quinn would sing.
Yeah.
This little light of mine, we're gonna let it shine.
Yeah,
and or
she's
lick
like,
blood, whatever's around.
yeah, I think Quinn would be like, there's no way in hell I'm going in there. That just is a bad idea. And we'll be like, you guys got this.
She lifts up the dagger, goes, "You guys got this."
Yeah, and like licks the blood a little bit.
Oh, Quinn, I miss
She
you so
can't
much.
cast anything if she can't see us, right?
Right. Yep. Okay. The creature once again rolls really poorly and does not hit, which is very strange because it has advantage. And it is Lee's
It's
turn.
confused by the noise too.
Yeah, it's so disoriented by like all of these people rushing into the darkness. It's like, what is going on here? Okay, go ahead, Lee.
Okay, so what is that exactly is happening? Like it's attached to my neck. Is it
Yeah,
causing damage?
well,
it's
it's not like attached to your neck, so it like sank its fangs into you and is then trying to envelop you. So it's not like attached to you, but it is moving with you.
Okay, so it just followed me essentially.
Correct. Yeah. You attempted to leave its space and it followed you.
Okay, so I can't physically see it at all.
Correct.
And since I'm holding Nona, what would that do to my action right now? Could I handed attack, or would I have to use my action to put her down? Or
actually, grappling doesn't inhibit your attacking at all.
I'm physically holding her.
Right.
So
yeah, so the idea is that like if you're grappling somebody, you still have like at least use of like one of your hands to attack. Unless you're restrained, there's no mechanical penalties.
Okay, so my great club is two-handed, so I cannot use that. Correct. Or could I release and use that? That's kind of
you know, I think because you're grappling her willingly and she's not resisting, I would allow you to like let go of her briefly to attack with your club and then like grab back.
Oh, you could grab that sword that Nona's got and use that.
So if you wanted to attack two-handed, I would allow that. Because you could, I would argue that that would be like your interact with object. because she's not resisting.
Okay. But okay, if
I am an object.
that sword isn't equipped right now, so I don't feel like I could do that. What
Okay.
say you, GM? if I wanted to use the sword that was nearby with Nona freaking out, could I, or would that be a stretch?
Which sword?
The talking sword.
The sword that Nona has right now, it's not equipped for me, so I'd have to grab it.
I think since you're grappling her, you probably know where the sword is. So I would say yes, I would allow you to take the sword from Nona and use it.
Okay.
Do it.
In that case,
You gotta tell her what you're doing though.
desperate.
You gotta be
So she's gonna go ahead and grab the sword that she's not super enthused about at the moment, but and she, okay, before I say that, so Nona's in front of me. Where in proximity are people around me that I can hear or tell?
Yeah, okay, so what's going on in my mind right now is that Lee has got basically kind of cradling Nona in her arms, kind of like protecting her in a sort like matriarchal kind of way, right? And kind of pulling her out. Behind you and like to the side is the bear, which you can't see, but you can hear, and is pulling on Nona's leg, is what it feels like to you. And then behind you is the creature that is attacking you. And you also hear Edie and Mavli have come in from the same direction and are, you felt hands grabbing all over you, trying to figure out who and what you were. And you assumed that that was probably Mavli.
Do I have based on what I've physically felt and also where I've heard people be, do I have a direction that I can swing without hitting somebody potentially?
Yeah, I think swinging directly behind you is probably a safe bet.
Okay, because I wouldn't take a swing if I heard somebody right next to me. I'm not gonna like swipe them kind of thing.
Yeah.
But if I've been able to hear people around me in a direction that I can avoid, I would be swinging back towards the creature.
Yep.
Okay. So I guess I'll just go for an attack with my now stolen Bane of the Nameless.
Yep, and this is a +2 sword, so it gives you an additional +2 bonus to attack and damage rolls.
Okay. I have a +6 already on my sheet. Is that including that, or is that not including that?
That'll make it a +8.
Okay, then with the additional 2 to make it 8, it is at 15.
Okay, that will certainly hit. So you swing the sword behind you, and it comes into contact with something fleshy.
Okay.
So the damage on Bane of the Nameless is 1d8, plus your normal modifier is +2.
Okay. Let's see. So if I turned around, would that also prompt an opportunity attack? Since
Nope.
no, okay. I guess I'd like to turn around and face what was on my back, and then could I use a bonus action at that point to take a swipe with my dagger, or is that not?
Yep, you can. So go ahead and roll the damage for the longsword, and then you can roll the hit with your dagger.
Do that. Damage is a 5. I'm gonna roll for my dagger attack.
So it's a 5 + 2, or is that including?
Dang it. I'm sorry, I'm not used to rolling with D&D Beyond.
It's all right. I'll just bring it up here. I haven't like looked up your characters in a while, so Okay.
The 5 was a nat 1 plus 4. So
Okay, 1 plus 4, and then plus 2, so it's going to be a total of 7 damage.
okay.
And then go ahead and roll to hit with your dagger.
The dagger was an 18 to hit.
Okay, and I believe that's 1d4 plus 4.
Plus 4 or plus 2? On my sheet it's plus 2. Why is it plus 4?
It should be plus 4 because your strength modifier is plus 2, your proficiency bonus is plus 2. So it
Okay.
should be plus 4.
Okay, with a plus 4, then that would be 8.
Okay. Surprisingly, with the combined attacks of the longsword, the magical longsword, and your dagger, you slice through it first with the longsword and then thrust forward with the dagger, and you hear the thud as it hits the ground. So nobody can see what this looks like because it's in complete darkness, but what do you imagine this would look like if people can see it as you kill this creature?
Oh man, I would probably have a bit of a wild look in my eye because I'm feeling backed into a corner and I'm also very stressed out using the sword that I don't want anything to do with. So I kind of just desperately grab at the sword, swing it behind me in kind of a fit of like, I don't know, impulse.
Inspiration.
Yeah, and then as I turn around to face the creature, I pull up my dagger and slash wherever I can't see, so I just slash at it as directly as I can.
Awesome. And it hits the ground in a thud, and the magical darkness goes away, and suddenly the room is no longer obscured in this inky cloud of black, and everybody can now see this kind of sinewy tendon type of weird chitinous centipede that has wrapped itself around Nona's leg and is digging its mandibles into her thigh.
Hooray for me!
And for the sake of
Hit it
time,
now?
I hope you'll allow me to do this, but I would just like to, for the sake of time, since we only have like 8 minutes left, that you manage to dispatch said centipede creature, and deal with Nona's catatonia. But we
I was
will
gonna ask how that affects her panic attack.
the darkness going away.
Yeah.
I think you're still going to be recovering, right? Because once the triggering mechanism is
Yeah.
gone, you don't immediately feel better, right?
Correct.
Yeah. So I think we're just gonna stick with that, like a minute of stunned.
Mhm.
Yeah. I apologize for going over time a little bit. I was hoping to have that done by 9:30, but
It's my fault for trying to use diplomacy.
oh, it's all right. It's all
No,
right.
she's 100% right. Combat with this many people is always going to take forever.
Yeah, I try to keep it going, but the more people you have, the slower it goes.
Yeah, no, I think we got a
to
lot.
open that door.
All right, so I'm going to stop the recording right now, and then we can chat for a few minutes.
Lisa's